Here we are in game 1 of the Grand Finals, of course playing on the reworked version of Bo5 Winter. Looking extremely beautiful in my opinion, one of the better looking maps that we have in this finals. And with us we have of course Devem playing as the Soviet faction, already locking in his commander of choice, guard motor coordination tactics.
And then the north side, we got Nico already going Osttroopen out of the gate, which is interesting. Haven't seen this before.
Yeah, well, he did play Osttroopen in the semis yesterday, so it will be interesting if he can pull it off once again here. Of course, then he went Community Defense. This is the other Osttroopen doctrine in the game.
Oh yeah, the double Osttroopen commanders.
Oh yeah.
It's I don't know for this map specifically. I'm not sure it's that strong because it's super long range, and you know conscripts have a really good defensive advantage. But I'm excited to see what he's gonna try.
Oh yeah. So
Looks like Devam's going for a 4 conscript opening as well instead of the usual double engineer triple conscripts.
Does look like that. Look at this squad in the north though. I do like that conscript just looking for the machine gun, I am assuming. But already spotted by the pioneer here.
I'm liking the very poking way of his maneuvering right now, where he's being very passive, but he's trying to bait out the MG.
Oh yes, you know, he's got squads spread out all across the map here, coming in from all directions. We have a flank coming in here.
So this is a good win for him, but I'm noticing already he's gonna lose the south side to some Osttroopen, so it's a question of he wants to be able to hold this, or if he wants to like shift over his squads now and see if he can force off the other Osttroopen squads.
Yeah, he is capturing the cutoff as well as his opponent's fuel here. Engagements happening all over the place. Of course, Osttroopen doing quite well versus the conscripts, and we already have a 4th conscript coming in for Nico here.
Oh, this is interesting. Because I actually I haven't been keeping up with the tournament games, so I'm trying to figure out what the big plan with 4 Osttroopen. I'm guessing he just wants to challenge the conscript field presence, but that's gonna fall off pretty substantially, especially. Well, he doesn't know what commander Devon's picked, but if he would pick on SVTs, for example, this could be really weak. He would just get forced off the field by the SVTs, but of course he wants the guard motor.
Yeah, indeed, and he's of course using the green cover here, very nice. Utilizing every part of the map. Meanwhile in the north, Nico is grabbing his resource nodes back.
He did get a nice flank on that MG earlier, but overall I feel like Devam is slowly losing some of these battles. The south side especially is under a lot of pressure, but he's got a flamer coming from the engineer, so he won't have any sweepers or tellers. He might go for a late 2nd engineer though.
Good spot there, we do have a flamer.
Oh, MG hits the mine north by the way. Pretty big.
Yeah, no squads close by for Devem though to capitalize on that, but there is some bleed going on. Flamer of course popping here, burning these Osttroopen. It seems Devem gets out ahead in the south. In the north, meanwhile, we have the conscript here closing in on the pioneers, making sure that capture isn't going through.
Do some light harassment. He's gonna have to move these pioneers once he gets the VP. I think he wants to do that anyway, because he's gonna get ready to take the tier 2 shortly.
We did have a mine attempt here by Devem, but it got interrupted by the approaching Osttroopen. Not standing in cover here, and of course Osttroopen being quite poor outside of cover. You want to be in cover to get that accuracy bonus, but standing in cover versus Flamer is generally not recommended, so I think Flamer is just such a good pick here.
It really is, but I'm worried that if he goes for an early teller or somewhere, because he's obviously playing Osttroopers, he won't have that much munitions to invest in his infantry early on. It means an early half-track or T-70 could easily run to a mine.
Very good call there. Of course, we've seen in the semis yesterday, Nico really using the fact that you don't really have anything to spend your munitions on. So what he did was spamming a lot of S-mines on the resource nodes.
I think we're gonna see the tier 2 tech now from Nico. I'm wondering, is he gonna go Flamer half-track here? I feel like that would be actually a really strong choice.
Yeah, we did see that yesterday with the Ostrupen, so that's definitely an option.
The BM sandbag on the cutoff. That is very cocky.
Oh yeah, but that's not actually the cutoff though.
You know?
You have the point next to it, yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
connects. So
Yeah,
you need
right.
to grab 2 from that direction in order to cut anyone off.
Oh, he is going for the half-track.
Oh yeah, the 251 half-track is in queue. Meantime, Devem got tier 2 up, no snares yet, but tier 3 is going down instantly as well. T70 should be available as soon as this goes up.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very late Flamer half-track because he went for 4 Ostrupen and an MG. He went for a very extended tier 1, but yes, he's gonna have like a minute to 30 seconds window here to really push Devon off the map and really just put the pressure on.
Oh yeah. We did see Machine Gun here being forced away, so the North lies open for Devem, but in the meantime, Nico here just charging through. Devem's own cutoff could see potentially being taken here. Sweeper is out for Nico.
Not destroying the wire, bit of a minor mistake, but nothing too grand.
Oh yeah, you know, some minor slip-ups, but as you mentioned, it's nothing huge. No, oh there we go, the flame projectors are in queue for the 251 half-track. Meanwhile, T70 is as well in the build here, so it's about to get matched properly by the Soviet light vehicle.
Yeah, I think if he had done a bit more, how do you say, optimal with the Pioneer in his building time, I feel like this half-track could have really changed the course of the game, but because it came out at 6 minutes rather than like 5:30, he really lost a huge window of opportunity, and this T70 is going to be out before the Flamers are even finished.
Yeah, not something you want to see as Ost here, right? Because usually when you go flame half-track, it's to force your opponent into that 80 gun that would delay the light vehicle. Since it's so late, T70 is here. And we have engagements going on all across the map.
So pretty big thing that Nico has now figured out about Devon is that he knows he doesn't have 18 nades stacked yet. He pushed them and he didn't get punished. But he has that bit of knowledge he can use, but this T70 is gonna hurt.
Oh yeah. What do you think about Nico's choice here, getting a pack gun? You know, you have the option to the supply drop with this doctrine, so...
I think he could have, and it would have actually been faster, I think. But it would showcase which specific stupid commander he'd gone.
Oh yeah.
Devon, but if Devon was keeping track, he would have known he's going the normal Ostrupen doctrine.
Yeah, not community defense.
It's one of those things, like, it's very strong, but having multiple support weapons, especially when a lot of people don't really like the MG34 specifically, prefer the MG42, so they might just prefer to just build another MG and then get double pack.
Yeah, we have chat here pointing out that Nico did already use the other Austrian doctrine, but of course, you know, if Devem's not keeping track of it, it's some mind games going on there.
It's the small things, but like it's not that important. He's got the pack out now, and he's gonna be able to stabilize because Devon is playing very cautiously, which is definitely the right play when you don't have any sweepers. I don't think we've seen any tellers go down yet.
I've not seen any, but they are quite hard to spot on the winter maps. And here we go, we got Siskan Barrage on the MG42 forcing another way. Second one coming in. Two really good shots here.
Setting up, that's very greedy. You might lose that.
Skip might go down here. And it most definitely will, yes indeed. No potential steal here though, it looks like. Siskan looking for that 251 half-track.
He can actually destroy this MG right now if he really goes for it.
Oh yeah, the Siskan is in position. The Ostrupen are approaching it though. T70 snared. 251 eats a shot from the Sysgun. Everything is going down here. Lots of aggression from both players. MG recaptured, opening fire. Conscripts reinforcing center.
The Sysgun there, I think he A-moved and he might have missed the MG42 specifically because it went up way too far. So that's a minor slip up, and that really made his offensive kind of weak. So now Nico's gotten his chance to stabilize again, and I think Devem overall, even though did misplay there a bit, did come out on top.
Yeah, a bit impressive, you know, to see such an engagement going down, but nothing actually, no player actually loses anything.
And those, like, usually that's like when you see, like, you compare the top players to, like, you know, the middling guys. So that's definitely a moment where like the Sysgun goes down and then it's just it's GG essentially.
Yeah, but you know, both players, their micro is on top. They are of course playing for the first place here in this tournament, Scorched Earth 2. And we have Snares tech now for Devem. And 251 goes down. Sysgun was waiting in ambush.
Ooh, nice.
That's a major blow for Nico.
It's definitely gonna hurt. Now it's only down to his Ostrup and the MG42, and that's gonna be brutal, I think, just because he doesn't really have any anti-infantry power anymore.
We have an Ostrup about to go down here to the T70 as well. Packgun in position, but it's far too late. Ostrup does go down. Nico, however, immediately rebuilds it. He wants his 4 squads.
I'm not sure that's the right call. He's taking to tier 3 as well at the same time. He's just trying to stall for time right now, and that's I don't know if another Ostrup squad is really the optimal move here though. But he is holding on to this left side fuel for now, but for how long, we'll see.
Yeah, as you mentioned, support armor core is up. That's the tier 3 for Ost here. And yesterday we saw a lot of Ostwind being deployed here from Nico. We'll see what he opts for. Ostwind would be available in approximately 1 minute otherwise, so could see that happening. Pack here, trying to get some shots in on that T70.
Well, Devem is going for tier 4 now, so we might see an early T34 here, but it's going to be slower than the P4, that's for sure, and that's going to be a bit hard for him to handle if the P4 is micro correctly.
Yeah, with the current resource income for Devem, it's about 2 minutes, I'd say, away from being clicked up if he goes for the 76 variant. Of course, with the guard motor being picked, we also have the 85 version available. And just major blows here.
It's gonna go down, I think.
You think so? I think it might
actually.
Oh
yeah, I thought he was gonna go for the body block, honestly, but I guess not.
Yeah, I was probably a bit busy microing elsewhere.
Gets an engagement on the left side, just throws some Molotov, trying to maintain map control, put on the pressure, but
we did see...
it's fairly even so far, I would say.
Oh yeah, we did see yesterday actually, Nico just every game essentially, he went really strong in the early game, especially on VPs, and we can see that tier 2 is already drained 200 VPs off of Devem.
Here we go, here comes the P4 in production.
Yeah. About 14 minutes, decent timing I would say.
Yeah, especially considering he lost the half track early on. It's kind of impressive it actually managed to get it out this early.
Oh yeah. Just looking at this, Devem just keeps, you know, probing the forces of Nico all over the place with these minor engagements. And here, T70 takes a hit. I think that's in kill range. We see an attack ground attempt there, but sadly off the mark.
Devem's retaining his manpower, so he's probably gonna go for a T44 76 here. Probably realizing that the P4 is gonna be out any second now. And all the 7-man upgrades are starting to kick into effect now. First one already upgraded. Can be pretty massive in helping dealing with the Ostrupen.
Yeah, I mean, the Ostrupen also got their upgrade now with tier 3 being up, you know, the MG42 LMG. Here comes the Panzer IV. We are on A's channel, so we might as well give this the introduction it deserves. The pretty heavy vehicle here, mainline. Medium tank from the Axis. As T-70 dodges his shots from the pack, but Panzer IV jumps on his prey.
I think he's afraid of some of those mines. Considering hit a lot of them early, I think he doesn't want to overcommit anything. Losing a P4 at this stage of the game is pretty fatal, I'd say, so playing it passively and cautiously is definitely the right move. You can see on the right side a very nice flank from Devon getting ready to push this MG, and if Nogano does not pay attention to this, he may lose it outright. But now he's on the ball, immediately reacting.
Yeah, and I just love how Devon plays, you know, it's like his USF experience really comes to play here with this quad conscript opening, where he's like probing and just trying to push through from very strange angles here, going around pretty much the entire map here, using the space to flank.
It's a lot of envelopment and a lot of just trying to surround in a circle and force them out of position a lot of the time. Being out of position, this pack gonna get jumped on by conscript squad and the T-70. And it goes down.
Decrued. And Panzer IV has already eaten 2 shots from the Siskan here, so it's running away. Devon or Nico might be fearing a vehicle here from Devon.
Devon is floating a bit of manpower here, so maybe he's still debating where his next follow-up unit is gonna be. Didn't they go for the 76 after all and went for the 85?
Yeah, 85 is in production.
I'm just thinking what Devon would want next. Maybe another Siskan?
Potentially, I'd say, yeah. Maybe a guard squad is also available, but that has the risk of bleeding when he already has 4 conscripts.
I mean, the anti-infantry threat of Nico isn't that great right now, and I feel like he's got a vet 3, he's got a 7-man. Now he doesn't really have to fear the Ostrupen anymore.
Nico once again opting for another support weapon, but not getting the supply drop here. Maybe he thinks it's simply not worth it?
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't like the MG34. It could just be as simple as that. Maybe he likes the MG42 and just wants more of them.
Of course, getting the supply drop here would mean that the next vehicle would be delayed, so getting an MG, which is essentially half the price, you know, it doesn't delay his next vehicle if he wants another Panzer IV.
Yeah, but mass Panzer IVs against T-34 85s is not something I would say is ideal. The 85 is really good at just beating down the T4s and just out-trading them, just being more efficient in general, especially with the self-repair.
85 being revealed here in the north, could get a huge shot off here. MG is very clumped up. It misses, however, hits the sandbag instead.
Pack's now moving in. The 85 doesn't really have that much else in terms of support. I actually think Devon's 85 here might just get snared. Go down actually, because it's in perfect position to get ambushed by the P4 on the Ostrupen.
Yes, indeed. I mean, the engagements are going on all over the map here, so it's hard to catch all of the action, but Devon is making a major push, I'd say, in the south here. T-70 charging in, forcing Ostrupen, and it's about to deliver some blows to this machine gun 42 as well.
Oh, he's gonna get the MG42 at least, but he might pay for it with the T-70.
Yeah, MG gets away, and now the T-70 is in peril. Where's the Siskan? It's moving in position, so is the T-34-85.
You know, Gunner doesn't want to risk it again. He's really afraid of the mines, I think.
And now it's the reverse position. 2 penetrations on the Panzer IV, reaching Vet 1, so the Blitz ability is now an option.
Yeah, Katusha coming up for Devon. That's interesting. I guess he's really confident at holding off multiple P4s with just an 85.
I mean, meantime, yeah, second Panzer IV is out, as you mentioned. What do you think Devem is going for here? You mentioned the second Sys gun. I think that's a very sound choice.
I think he has to if he wants to go Katusha on top of this. If he doesn't, I'd say he's very, very greedy. I mean, like, just the mass support weapons is perfect for Katusha, but the double P4 against a single 85, while you can win that fight, as long as you have Sys gun support, it's not the fight you really want to be in.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think the Katusha is a solid choice here, though. You got a lot of support weapons on Nico's side. We will most likely see a second pack gun come out as well in the coming minutes.
Just worried now, like, he just, Nagano just goes to, you know, the throws with the P4s, and he's already pushing in one.
Yeah, playing...
Just 185, it's just, it's so fragile.
He's not diving here, though. He's probably expecting some mines, which is making him play cautiously. And there's just conscript charging Nico's lines over and over, all over the map here. And we see two penetrations on the Panzer IV, T-45 going in. Fearing the snare, though, is forced back.
Tusha already on the front lines, maybe a bit too far forward though.
Very even game so far. The only takedowns we've really seen is an Ostruppen squad and the 251 half-track for Nico. But of course Nico having that advantage of early map control. MG42 might go down here, Katusha in a shotgun barrage position.
The game maybe gets just a few more hits in.
Does manage to get away.
Second Sys gun and second pack coming out now, so...
Oh yeah?
Now they're really gonna solidify their positions, I think, and just try to lock their opponents down, really. The Sys is gonna focus on just forcing out the MGs.
And of course the first couple of trenches is coming up now for Nico.
Oh yeah, the trenches. That might prove actually really annoying to deal with, because he's gonna have to be forced to use a flamer here.
Yeah, but look at that concentration of force from Devem in the center. How do you dislodge this? With merely Ostruppen, it's not really something you can
I come down to the railway, I think. The railway and the P4 combo is gonna be crush here.
Yeah.
Devem, I think he's gonna go for another 85, and then that's gonna be his entire armor basically set up and finished.
Would you really dislike an Su-85 here? Oh, and we see a conscript getting very low, charging into this machine gun, red cover in the river. Does manage to slip away around that vision blocker.
The MG42 was not focus firing the MG, which is a bit of a misplay, but...
And it goes down. Could be immediately destroyed here as well. Don't think he can steal that. Oh, it is recaptured by Nico, so Devem did not capitalize on that.
Probably. It looks like on the right side Nico is focusing on dealing with the conscript squad there, you know, getting the incendiary going.
But in the left though, T-70 goes down to the double Panzer IV and the P.A.K.A. moving in. Katusha opening fire on the P.A.K.A., taking one out. And here comes the Sys gun and T-34-85. Panzer IV in trouble. Does not get the final connection.
Also the ground fire, but he takes down the pack while he's doing this. Now the engineers are moving up to capitalize on this. Or not? Okay, he decides to pull back instead.
Probably wants that repair up for Nikos.
Yeah, now this is a bit of a bad position for Devem, I think. Yeah, all his infantry has been forced back, and he's kind of left a bit exposed here. So Nagano really decides to go for a hard push. You could see Devem a bit of a collapse.
By the way, did we see Pioneer go down for Nico? I think he built a second one, or did he not? Let us check real quick. No, he cancelled. He cancelled his second. I did see a second Pioneer in the build earlier, so he did cancel that. Oh, and we see Battle Phase 3 actually coming out for Nico right now.
So that's probably gonna be a Brumbar or a Panther. I would wager it's more of a Brumbar play though,
We did
just to get
see,
the Bunker Buster ability.
yeah, we did see some Battle Phase 3 from Nico yesterday, and he was pretty much going for a Battle Phase 3 bingo every single game. He went Verf, Brumbar, Panther on pretty much all of his build orders, so... And here we go, Railway is coming down in the south, forcing all of DevM's forces away.
I guess he just really wants the VP pressure here. Mind games really, just trying to put the pressure on and force Devon into making mistakes he doesn't want to make.
Oh yeah. Well, we have Katusha here ready to fire within the minute. Pack guns moving up. We saw... could potentially see some bait here. Katusha's already, Pack revealed. Katusha's instantly fire, Pack trying to run to his safety, goes down! Second barrage coming in. And some poor scatter, making it out of there alive.
Question is if it's Nogano, Devam I mean, is he gonna push for this now or try to get a kill? But it doesn't look like it. He's happy with wiping the veterancy.
Oh, I think he's pushing. Second T-3485 just entered the battlefield. Double Cs moving up, opening up on the Panzer IV.
It might be a bit too late to push now. He's gonna recruit those packs.
Oh yeah, the T-44 is in trouble, needs to get out of there. Still in range. Needs one more shot on him. As the other T-3485 gets snared, but Sysguns are in position to deal some damage on the Panzer IV. Railway artillery coming down on the center VP. T-3485 goes down.
He might pay for this with the packs, but price he pays here is really not worth it.
Yeah, and of course that railway artillery, you know, it's basically splits the DevM's forces in half. He can't move up his Sysguns here to support, even though the Panzer IV gets snared here.
Just steal the pack, but it's gonna go down to the MG42 most likely.
Yeah, MG42 just total disrespect, setting up right in front of DevM's forces.
MG42 is not gonna push the other Sysgun. Sysgun can't really do anything unless he wants to go for a cheeky close range barrage.
I mean, he could, but he'd probably rather move out of range first.
The MG42s will rip up the Sysguns rapidly when you get that close.
And Nico really putting on some pressure here. 150 VPs remaining for DevM, and of course Nico also having access to tier 4 here. And with some float could see a Panther coming out.
I feel like a really good answer here would actually be a 120 motor, or maybe even a Maxim, just to just contain the support weapons a bit and stop the Ostrooper from just pushing all over the place.
Oh yeah, would you really hate a guard squad coming in here?
With 4 conscripts, I don't feel like you really want to engage in more infantry, especially when you know tier 4 is on the way. He hasn't seen any P4s in a good few minutes now. He knows it's only 2, and he's probably gonna only see 2 for a little bit.
Pack here in peril once again. It gets decrewed. These packs getting decrewed every other minute, it feels like.
It is Katusha, you know. Its only job in its life is just to snipe these packs out. A Panther in production.
There we go. Yes, indeed. Panther is the option here for Nico. So very solid composition there, I feel.
I wonder if the Panther is really the answer he wants to go for, though. He knows he's killed one T-3485 already. Does he really need more AT?
I guess he just doesn't trust his pack guns here with Katusha being on the field.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It just takes one bad Katusha volley and you can lose the game. So I guess he just wants to play on the safer side of things.
And I'm just trying to stabilize the VPs here. He's starting to really prioritize these VP nodes, I feel like.
I think he has to. I mean, he's in a situation now where, like, he hasn't really been effectively holding ground. And that's gonna result in him being pushed back over and over again. And these MG walls are just pinning him down, really, and just forcing him out of position. And you know, this is where the Sysgun is really key, right? Like, he has to be sniping them. These MGs with the barrage.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of hard for DevM here. He did lose one of his mediums, so if as long as Nico just keeps splitting up his Panzer force, holding one of the side VPs, you know, it's tough for DevM because his T-4485 can't be everywhere. So really well played there, I think. And we have an SU-85.
I mean, I'm not inherently against it, but I feel like he already has the double sis, and that's enough with the P4s. I guess he's expecting something like the Brumbar or Panther.
Oh, look at the Panther position here. He's probably going in for a dive here. SU-85 just opens up just enters the battlefield.
No mines either from Devon at all, so he's just gonna be able to run in.
Instantly gets shot though. Conscripts sprinting in here, trying to get that snare off. We have railway artillery coming down on the Siscans. Where is this SU-85 going?
Mark target coming down as well, but he did not chase with the SU-85. I think he actually could have killed that Panther. I think he's getting overwhelmed with microing everywhere at the same time, and now the railway is just gonna start destroying his AT guns.
Yeah, first one does go down.
This is a really rough position for Devon to be in, I think. He's overextending himself, and his APM is not really cutting it here. He needs to be more responsive because he's mismicroing several engagements at once, and they're really critical errors. Panther getting away, like had he killed that with the marked target, which he easily could have done, could have changed the course of the game, but now he's stuck in a really bad position to the end. But it's not. These situations really are really hard to deal with. You have to do so many things at once, and you have to do it perfectly, right?
Yeah, and you know, Nico is just solidifying his position here. He has all the time in the world. Meanwhile, DevM, pressured here, reaching 70 VPs. Triple cap is in effect here.
Has to attack, and it's just. It's an awful position to be in, really. Just MGs everywhere, packs everywhere, trenches, P4s. It's just. He needs like a decisive engagement where he really kills off something critical for Nagano.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree here, attacking the north instead of the south. I feel like the south would be easier to attack, but...
I think he wants to concentrate all his forces in one area of the map instead of overextending again.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it might
sure.
be the right call.
Here we go, Katusha once again on the machine gun, so he can capture the northern VP, T-485 pushing in as well.
So now he's stabilized a little bit, but...
So, what do you think DevM's next vehicle here? I wouldn't hate the T-476, just, you know...
I don't think he has a choice. He has to go to 76 here.
Yeah, because he doesn't have time to wait for a different vehicle.
Yeah, he just... Oh no, the Panther's coming in now. Hunting for the Katusha.
The Siscans does connect. Where's the conscripts? They are marching out of base information. Gets 4 connections on the Panther, goes down to half HP.
One thing also Devon needs to do, he needs to upgrade all of his conscripts. Not all of them are actually upgraded for a long time. And still one is not really upgraded still. That really makes the difference. That 7th model helped win against the Austrians pretty handedly.
DevM here just sprinting in, cancelling the capture. But in the north, T-485 getting snared. And he's about to lose that VP as well. Meanwhile, in the center, some progress is being made. Siscans out of position.
It's progress, but it's the type of progress you don't really want to see. He's losing models, he's losing HP, and he's being overextended up everywhere. This is... He might reach his breaking point right now, because he doesn't have anything to defend the 85. When he's pushing in the SU-85 and the Siscans, very risky.
Yeah, Packans in position. SU-85 one shot away from dying here. Siscans meanwhile getting blasted by that machine gun in the bunker. Katusha on the Packans. However, dodged by Nico.
I think he's made himself a bit too predictable with these Katusha rounds now.
This Panther is... Panther is repaired once again, finishing off the Su-85, and it's just probing, it's just going straight through the Vem's forces here. As the Katusha is in panic mode. T-4485 is just...
He hasn't been repairing it with the self-repair, and that's really gonna bite him in the ass now.
There we go, Katusha did go down. Panzer Force here to end the suffering essentially of DevM. Both Sysguns does go down, and T-4485 now in a heroic final stance or last stand.
It's hoping to roll good here. You know, bounce every shot.
You know, Sysgun is recaptured. Snare going in on the Panzer IV. Only Packans defending the VP. Ticking down to 15 here. Small moral victory here for DevM, taking up that Panzer IV.
Yeah, the top's gonna run out. He's trying, but...
Looks like that's the death blow for DevM.
Yeah, no miracles.
And GG well played. That's game 1 in this grand final. So taking a look at the score screen here before moving away, we can see that Nico just did really well here with the Osttroppen squads versus the conscripts. Even though it's even, you know, you don't really want it to be like this as Soviets in this matchup, I feel.
Early to mid-game was really strong, but he fell off progressively as the game went on. He got a few picks on the half track, got an Osttroppen squad. He decoyed the MG like once or twice, and that he didn't really capitalize on that specific kill, which was pretty huge. The MG42 being like the entire crutch of the Wehrmacht army at the moment.
Oh yeah, and we did see, you know, multiple support weapons being decrewed over and over, but I think that the major blow here for DevM was losing that first T-4485, as you can see on the chart here, just putting him one vehicle below Nico essentially at all times. And, you know, Nico just spreading out his forces means DevM can't keep up here. But yeah, good game, and good start to the Grand Final series, I think.
That's a pretty good game.
So let me switch to our talking scene here, and let's see if the game 2 is up and ready to go.
You need to invite me to the observer party again.
Oh yeah, I'm restarting as well.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna get some water while you do that.
Sure. I do read chat, human, but it's a lot. It's not that easy to do it at all times, you know. You love them lines? That's nice, MFX. How are you guys enjoying the casting so far? Are the audio levels fine, etc., etc.? I will try to pay a bit more attention to chat in the next game.
Did you invite me?
Not quite yet. Music's a bit too loud? Okay. I will try to lower it. Wrong channel? Yeah, we're role-playing as AE, so that's what's happening. Essentially, I think I'm AE and you're Ed 80 Hertz, so...
yeah, I guess.
Make sure you support AE's channel, you know, subscribe. It gives Ed, also known as Orange Pest, some kebab, you know, so you can buy some food.
Yeah, I'm a poor starving child. I need my dinner.
Exactly. Wasn't Master League cancelled? This is, you know, it's... we had a Necromancer come and revive the Master League, so this is essentially Season 2, I'd like to call it, but it's not officially Season 2, it's just continued.
I think announcement of Co-Free, you know, I made AE, probably want to bring it back again because he got excited about it. And
Oh
he
yeah.
loves Go.
All right, so they are starting game 2 as we speak.
Yeah, but I need my invite to the
Oh yeah,
observer party.
yeah. Don't worry,
Come
don't
on,
worry.
hurry! What's the map they're playing on?
It's going to be Bryansk Forest.
I don't think I've ever played that map.
I think it's pretty good. You have very aggressive like cutoffs with green cover, so you can really be, cutting off each other's resources a lot. And it has a lot of shot blockers actually. It's probably one of the most close quarters heavy maps, I think. It's either that or Champs, but makes for a very aggressive games actually.
Well, it's gonna be an aggressive game anyway. Looking at the
Oh, yeah.
factions. Can they actually
Oh,
see the factions right now or no?
not yet, but do you want
Okay, I
us to?
won't say anything.
I mean, we can reveal and just talk about the
Yeah, sure.
potential strats here. All right, let me switch scene real quick. And of course, let me update the scores as well.
Can they see it now? Okay.
Not yet, not yet. One
Oh,
second.
yeah? Okay. I just want to talk about some of the stuff they could do.
Oh yeah, so here we are on Bryansk, of course, the winter version made by Victor. And we have Devem here locking in USF. First time I think since the qualifiers actually for this tournament to not pick Soviets. So that's very exciting stuff. What do you think about that, Orange Pest?
I think it's either gonna work really well or it's gonna fail miserably. That is US in a nutshell. You either win or you just collapse.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a really interesting game.
USF is like the Sith of Code 2, they only deal in absolutes. It's you run over or you get run over.
Yeah. I think I did see one game he played US against Asha. And he did the classic Devon sneaky strat, right? When you go early nades.
Yeah.
And then he just hones in on your MGs and he just spams grenades every engagement with no regard for his munitions.
Yeah, and of course, Devem is quite famous for his USF as well. I think it was his main faction in the VCO, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was the strongest faction in VCO, and it's probably the strongest faction in Code 2.
Yeah,
faction,
if played at potential or maximal potential, you mean?
I mean, sure. Like, obviously, should expect them to play at maximum potential.
Oh yeah.
The Grand Final.
And of course, facing him, we have Nico once again playing as the Ostier faction, as Axis. In this tournament format, it's, they locked in basically their side at the start of the tournament, so you got to choose Axis or Allies, and then you have the factions to pick from in each game there. So we're going to see Nico playing Axis all this entire series. Do you expect to see anything else but Ostier? Do you expect to see OKW?
I think if he got pushed to the brink, where he's run out of commanders he defines as good, he may pull out a cheeky OKW, but probably not. Honestly, if he was to do it, I think this would be the map. It's very close quarters. It's very good for Stern Piles and Volks, it looks like.
Yeah, I was about to mention, we did see Nico using the Assault Grenadiers to very, very strong effect yesterday. So we, of course, have strategic reserves available for him here. Yesterday we saw Mechanized Assault.
Strat Reserves is really interesting because it's my favorite commander, right? But it's very hit or miss. You can do some interesting things with it where you just go for the P4J, but I don't think he will do that. I think on this map you don't go all out Assault Grenadier. I think you go one or two just to keep them on the rifles on their toes.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few grunts to just get some snares so you don't get run over by the vehicles. But I don't think he will go for Assault Grunts this game. I think he'll go for Lightning War or Blitzkrieg. And I think I'm leaning towards Blitzkrieg a bit more than I do Lightning War.
We did actually see Nico yesterday when they played on this map. He went for Jaeger Infantry using those G43 Grenadiers. And they actually work very well on this map because of the very aggressive layout where you can just charge your opponent's cutoff essentially.
The MG42 pin.
Here.
I guess they're also changing the grenade is really huge on this map because it's very close quarters. And way easier to nade someone on retreat with the stick grenade than it is the rifle grenade. The rifle grenade is very complicated to really get the grenade off.
Oh yeah.
Just on retreat paths specifically.
Also interesting, you know, the assault grenadiers, they don't really have a snare, and you know, USF being quite a light vehicle focused faction, you have a lot of very strong options as USF, so might be very risky to go assault grenadiers on a map like this versus this faction.
He could do it like 1 assault grenadier and 3 grunts, something I've done before. It's okay on this map. I think it could be all right, but it would require a lot of super aggressive play.
Oh yeah. So here we go. The game just started. 10 seconds into it, we have the first couple of capping order, building orders starting off. We have no machine gun so far from Nico. We did see this yesterday as well, going for quad grenadier into the 5th unit being the machine gun. So very interesting stuff there, I think.
Okay, I guess he also prioritized map control. Well, interesting thing just right out the gate. Devon going for mechanized assault could be hinting towards a timing push with the M20 and the cavalry rifleman.
Oh yeah.
Or an early dodge.
Do you expect to see a WC-51 here?
I don't know this map very well, right? But it could be like, if he sees the assault grenadiers, that's why he's got it.
Yeah, Lightning War here is the option picked for Nico, so we will most likely see those G43s again for the Grenadiers.
So on this map, I could see like a really decisive push, right? Where you blob your G43s and you do the global sprint, and you just try and collapse the US player, catches AT guns out. And we're already seeing the WC-51. Gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Maybe he's expecting assault grenadiers then.
Yeah, he might be, and I don't know, just against pure grunts, it could work if he micros it well enough, but he's gonna have to really step up the pressure, and I guess he's just gonna stick with the 2 rifle openings to go for Lieutenant next.
Honestly, I would say this just plays perfectly for Nico, because he didn't go for a machine gun, so the WC-51 doesn't really have that high value target to try to wipe either. So yeah, I think this is actually perfect for Nico, just starting off here in the first.
Oh, he's expecting the assault guns. He has. Oh no, he's trying to hunt for the MG. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but there's no machine gun, you know. There's no machine gun.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a big mistake from Devon if he makes a single misplay here. Maybe he's just gonna drop. Oh, he's going for the Pios. Okay, I think he's realized the Grens are running around in a blob and he can't really do anything.
I mean, usually
he's taking for the Lieutenant right now, so he's going for definitely an early M20 into a cavalry rifleman, but if it's gonna work, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Lieutenant is coming out. In the meantime, in the south, we saw this yesterday. Nico just, you know, concentrating his grenadiers on one point of the map, and then immediately after winning an engagement, spreading out in all directions, capping.
It's very Co-1 stylish, you know, that's what a lot of people do in Co-1.
Here you have Devem though, as I mentioned earlier, you know, very aggressive map here. This cutoff is taken, and, you know, he has that green cover already.
That is an interesting green cover placement.
Okay,
I'm surprised he hasn't wired off that green cover specifically, because that seems like a giant thing to deal with as the right side. Also, seems like Nico is just skipping the MG42 completely.
Oh yeah, no MG42 even yet. We have Battle Phase 1 coming in.
Now the WC-51 is picking a battle with the Grand. This is picking off one model, but don't think it's it just hasn't paid for itself.
Yeah, we do have the cav rifles right now coming in as well. Mr. Rifle nade there on the Lieutenant. And he's closing in. What's the Devem thinking there? Some minor...
He's intimidating his opponent. Staring him right in the face, point blank, in an engagement where he knows he can't win.
Devem already grabbing those...
He might be trying to stall.
Yeah, Devem already grabbing those Thompsons on the cavalry riflemen that are just charging through here with those grease guns.
I actually think cavalry riflemen are going to be really, really strong here. Because the Thompsons have a lot of mid-range DPS, doesn't have a suppression device, and not a whole lot of upgrades. Like, yeah, Devon hasn't done super strong on map control, it's been fairly even. But Nagano hasn't held that much muni. It means like the upgrades aren't going to be rolling out.
Yeah, we did see the cutoff in earlier as well, so I think it's quite even, just both being a bit behind from what you usually see.
I mean, I think one of the big things was that early rifleman, he was probably aiming for a wipe, right? But he didn't get the wipe, and that's a lot of muni early game that he's not gonna really get to use now.
Tier 2 is right now up for Nico, so could see a 2-2 potential here any second now.
Really cool play, by the way, south side by the fuel. 3 grand. Oh, nice rifle nading coming.
Ooh, how did that not kill anyone? Ooh, where is the green cover right there?
Yeah, he was sitting on green cover. It's a really cool play from Devon, though.
Yeah, the green cover
win against the blob, right? So he's gonna hide behind the cover and just stall. It's definitely the quick play.
The green cover just, you know, nullifying damage there, not dealing that much damage. I think it's a 50% reduction, so that squad probably would have gone down if that wasn't green cover situated there.
Yep. Also, a very important thing here, Devon is actually super far ahead right now. He's got the steward out. Now that 2-2 is gonna run straight into it, essentially, the moment it pops out. He overextends even slightly here. He could easily get punished and lose that 2-2.
Yeah, very true. You know, those cav rifles dropping very fast here when they're that low without any healing.
Up north, Pios could get a rifle squad.
Seems to be getting away though. And we see S-mines there from Nico. 2-2 here, going in for the WC51 kill. Stewart is in production, coming out any second here. This could be a close call, but the WC51 does go down to the 2-2.
Doesn't get... He wanted to maneuver around the log there to force 2-2 to chase. But this RE...
It's about to go down, yeah. 2-2, already getting two important kills here.
No sweeper, but...
Yeah, you know, the S-mines are in position.
It's not mainline squads, right? Like, it's not the cornerstone units of his army. So, I mean, it's losses that he doesn't want to have, obviously. But it's not end-game ending losses. And he might get the Pios here with the Steward. Oh, S-mine's going down on the fuel, north side.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Could be a huge hit here, hitting the S-mines potentially. Does not get that lucky, but... Seems the Pioneers are fine as well. We have a pack gun coming out for Nico right now, so he has the counter. Lieutenants here with Zooks.
Nagano is about to get his first healing now, I think, so Devon is slowly gonna... I think he's slowly gonna lose the infantry war now.
Yeah, we saw a major offensive here happening in the north. The Grenadiers are on march for the fuel once again.
I mean, this Gren blobbing, right, like, a lot of people would probably dismiss this as lazy, but it is like a really good way of just utilizing Grens when they're weak alone. All these engagements you would lose 1v1s, so why not just stack it in your favor?
Oh yeah.
Also, Cav Rifle's about to go down.
Oh shit, I missed that.
Dead.
Sorry. Grenadiers there taking out the Cav Rifles. That's 3 losses now for Devem in the first 8 minutes. And here we have the ambulance, but there's barely any squads left to heal. So we see a rifle nade. Lieutenant dodging it in time.
This is a very rough position to be in as Devem. I mean, the US is very hit or miss, right? Like, we talked about it, but like, He had a solid early game, but then he wasn't ready for the 2-2-2. And now it's just kind of tumbling down. I think he can still stabilize. It's gonna be very
This
hard.
Grenadier is in trouble though. We have a second Grenadier to screen for it though, so no dive potentially for the Steward.
I don't think he can even risk such a dive. One teller and it's just over. He just loses
yeah.
the game.
Yeah, he needs to get that Steward value out, and he can't afford losing it when he's already down so much.
What is the play for Devon here? I think
An MG is the...
Rifle nades outside.
Yeah, but dodged by Devam.
So Devon opts for another cab rifle. Not sure I like this play.
I don't think it's too bad. He just definitely needs to get some more infantry going here, and you can get 50 kills later and it's not too bad, but you want the veterancy on your infantry, right?
Yeah, it's just I think cav rifles are one of those units that really crutch on their veterancy to get kills. So not having veterancy now against Vet 2 Grants, you're not gonna trade efficiently, which is what you want, but he might be going for a wipe here on this Grand squad.
Could see a huge shot, and we do! Stewart just annihilating majority of that squad here. And Nico's reinforces are far away. Stewart following, gets another model, needs one more. Stewart almost in snare range. There we go, snare popped. Pack in position in center, misses. Grenadier does survive. That's very unfortunate for Devam.
He really needed that kill. One thing he could have done there was he needed to turn the Steward around so the machine guns were all firing on it. And it's like those tiny little things when you're trying to get kills that can really change like the result.
Oh, and this pack gun setting up in a quite strong position here. Stewart is hiding behind this huge pile of logs though.
Another cab rifle squad coming out. Really massing infantry now. I think he's kind of desperate, right? He's realized he's super far behind and he needs to win the match. Like, he needs a big win and he needs to flood the field with infantry and just push him off the map now.
I think the issue is here that, you know, Nico, this large advantage in the early game, he already has Battle Phase 2 teched. And we're not that far from the first medium of the game. And there's barely any 80 on the field for them.
I mean, not only that, but also the veterancy across all the Grenadiers compared to, like, Devam's army. Sure, he's got, like, a rifle squad at Vet 2, and he's got a Vet 2 lieutenant, but 3 squads don't even have any combat veterancy, and they really need that to even compete at this stage.
And we saw Stewart here almost going in for a dive on the 2-2, but he plays cautiously, does not want to risk it. Grand's clumped up here in the north. Cav rifles on retreat, most likely Devam's or Nico's first loss here. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, now we're calling ourselves back into the game, but this is still just 1 grand. It's not too bad of a loss. The P4 will probably come out anyway.
Yeah, what does Devam do here versus a Panzer IV in the coming 2-3 minutes, do you think?
You go captain and you go double AT gun and you pray to God, and that's what he's doing.
Alright, sounds solid.
Yeah, you just need the pack wall, or well, not pack wall, but what's called the M1 wall, just to hold off the P4.
Yeah,
Stewart can't die in the situation either.
Maybe one of the cav rifles should have been the captain to begin with, in hindsight.
Yeah, he's gonna have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 infantry squads.
Yeah. And
no
sweeper
on many of them. This is
this is bleed potential, especially for USF, you know, being quite just a bleedy faction overall.
Well, I think he's got really only one option to do now, and that is just blob everything. Just brute force your engagements and you just rely on raw numbers because you have so many squads to just win the fights.
And you know, we see this...
Oh, sorry.
No problem. We see this again, like I was talking about the first game, that Nico, just his early game is just perfected, I feel like. He's always coming out on top in the early game, and you can see that in the VP lead here as well, right? 150 VPs drained after 10 minutes. When Stewart in trouble!
Luckily for Devon, he was upgrading G43, so that would be a dead Stewart.
Yeah, and the 2-2 goes down to the snare and the Zook on the lieutenant. But Panzer IV is now in queue.
Yeah, he kills the 2-2, but look at the bleed. Bottles losing everywhere, dropping.
Yeah, and Cav is going down here. But yeah, not net positive engagements here for Devem.
I mean, it's just the classic, you know, you win the battle but you lose the war.
80 gun is in queue though for Devem. He is, you know, he is aware that he is behind here and that the first major vehicle from Nico is about to hit.
I mean, this Stewart could be really crushed in just dealing with the P4. He's got the stun, he's got the engine crit. If the stars align or he makes a really solid play with the Stewart, he's be baited into the AT gun and maybe even a snare.
I mean, I really do like the way Devem plays here, you know, just charging up to those Grenadiers. Even though he eats a snare, he knows he's safe behind the shot blocker, and he's just, you know, draining some more munitions from Nico.
Yeah, but with the P4 on the way, that might turn into a mistake.
Yeah, 80 gun is leaving base right now. He needs to jump in. Oh no! Didn't target the vehicle crew there.
That is very fortunate. He's gonna hide behind the building and try and get the snare off on the P4 if it tries to push into him, I think. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Crowds are taking one of our points.
And Nico knows better. He's gonna walk away.
80 gun and Stewart connecting on the Panzer IV. Cav rifles coming in on a flank for the machine gun. Machine gun in trouble here actually. Potentially, no. Devem chooses to retreat, fearing the Panzer IV too much, I think.
I think it's the combination of the Grenadier, the Vet3, Grenade, P4. Also, he doesn't know where a lot of the other Grenadiers are. He knows where like maybe 2 or 3 are south, right? But where's the other one? And that could just turn into a critical mistake where he has to retreat into the MG's arc.
Oh yeah.
This is such an awkward position as USF. You have so many squads, right? You don't know what to do with them. You have all this fuel, you have no manpower, and you can't really build any support weapons because you have too many squads already.
And the engagements, I feel like they're negative even when it's 2v1 here. We might see a snare on the Stewart. Yes, we do. Hakan trying to find an opening here, attack running through the vision blockers. Next, the second shot though, needs one more hit. And we
I know
have
the second MG42 is coming out, and this is where it gets really dicey for US.
Oh yeah, we also have a triple capture here from Nico, as well as double fuel, so he has major map advantage here for Nico.
I just feel like at this point, if I was Devon, I would actually just throw away one of my squads. You can't keep this up.
We almost had a satchel there on the Panzer IV, that could have been crucial.
He's actually fending off this P4 very well, right?
Oh yeah.
But he's only pushing it away, he's not actually like gaining ground here.
I don't think Nico has repaired it yet though. At all.
I mean, sure, but this is just like, I think he just wants to keep the pressure up, right? Like he knows he can't really finish it off, right? So, you know, taking the damage, like what's he gonna do?
Oh, and this Stewart diving the Pakan here, Pakan not protected by any Grenadiers, and we have grenades teched from Devem, so smoke is out from the captain here. And we have the rifleman coming in from the flank. Grenadiers in the meanwhile, sitting atop the captain, Pakan setting up. Panzer IV. And captain goes down.
it's just a blessing in disguise at this point, but great grenade coming out. Oh, would have done.
Connecting on the Stewart, we see double snare as well. But the cav rifle is on top of the pack gun, most likely will be decrewed here, but it might cost him the cav rifles.
He got rid of the veterancy and that counts for a lot, but is Nico gonna go and finish off the Stewart? Looks like he's trying to do it with just the Grenadiers.
Yeah. Snare is up. Could potentially see the tactical movement being used to close the distance, but no, we see 80 gun here using the armor piercing rounds, getting a connection as well as on the snare on the Panzer IV.
A shame that M1 wasn't Veterancy 1, because that was a perfect opportunity to use that and just get a final connecting blow.
Very true, the Vet 1 ability of course giving some self-spotting as well as extra range, which means you can get 2 shots off when you generally wouldn't, which is takes a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah, it just makes your shooting economy, so to speak. You get 3 versus 2, which is pretty impactful.
We have the second Panzer IV in the queue, as well as another Pioneer here for repairs coming out for Nico.
There's a Major out on the field now, so there's at least that, but
quite far away from a vehicle though. Current income is essentially not existent.
They're getting grenaded. I go down here.
Yeah, we did see a cav rifle, I think, go down in the north though. Or no, we didn't. Never mind, I'm just making shit up.
No, it did die. Vet 2 cavalry rifle. He had 2. One of them died.
Oh yeah. I did think I saw something, but I'm not sure where it would have been.
I think he ran away with one model and got an RNG snipe on it.
But yeah, DevM trying to stabilize the VPs here, buying himself some more time. Down to 200 right now. Second 80 gun in queue for DevM, realizing he won't get that vehicle beforehand.
Yeah, this is as desperate as you can get, really.
Could see a satchel here though. Panzer IV going in greedy in the north. No
nice satchel, but
follow-up as far as I can tell. You have that 180 gun there, but you know, the Grenadiers are coming in.
Bit of a miss micro south. He's gonna run his rifle straight into the MG, but gonna force a retreat anyway.
And where is that major artillery? All the way back there, behind the machine gun on the pack, it seems. Of course, with the major being slightly reworked in one of the later patches, it has very long vision radius now, so it actually sees that. And Stewart here coming in for a flank on the Panzer IV. 80 gun in position.
Any damage you can get, really.
There comes the snare! No! It was a grenade, my bad.
Grenade! 3 of those grenadiers really kicking in there and really reducing the damage of that grenade. Would have been otherwise super lethal.
Only losing 2 models there though.
You know,
in the north, DevM just wants that fuel. He needs it for his vehicle. Might see another satchel though. Might have been fearing the crush there.
I mean, honestly, he's actually nearing a Sherman. I mean, he can't get the 76 here, but getting a single Sherman out would be pretty nice. I mean, he's probably going to be outnumbered 3-1. But just having that and the double AT guns is super huge, and it's gonna allow him to calm himself back into the game.
Do you not think do you not think it's worth to save for the 76? It's barely a minute difference.
At this point, you need to like take back the map. He's losing a lot, and he's not winning the fights. Really, he's like just bleeding over and over again, and he just needs anything at all to just take back the map at this point. And honestly, I don't think I would pull the 76 here either, because kind of the biggest problem right now is the Grand Long.
Yeah, we do have Panzer IV here trying to get a couple shots on the Stewart, but double 80 gun. But here we see the tactical movement being deployed. Grenadiers charging in on this 80 guns out of position. Panzer IV is coming in as well. Sherman is in the queue, but I think it's too late. Might see a satchel here. Can Panzer IV finish this off? I doubt it. Could see the blind coming in. No blind happening. And the Grenadiers are just shaking up the VEM's forces here. 80 guns being completely destroyed.
I didn't see a rifle go down as well here.
Do have the lieutenant coming in from the rear here. Panzer IV taking a hit in lethal range now. And it does. We could see the second Panzer IV go down here as well. All he needs is a connection and a snare.
He does not have the munitions for the snare.
Oh, good call, yeah. Yeah, cav rifle's getting very low here. See a grenade as well. Rifleman seemingly coming out on top.
Right, but if he doesn't get the second one, I don't think he can recover. But this is the kind of dangerous thing about the Lightning War Commanders. That giant G43 bot sprinting at your AT guns, and you caught with your pants down and you're just not ready. He tackles you and both your AT guns disappear.
Just straight up perfectly executed that, I think, from Nico, actually. Even though he lost that Panzer IV, you know, the losing double 80 gun there is a way harder blow to the VEM's forces.
Absolutely. I mean, like, Devon can't afford these losses. Nagano, he has the fuel.
Yeah, and he has all the time in the world as well. 460 VPs. Meanwhile, Devem here is on the clock. And we see a sneaky teller there behind the Sherman. Should have been spotted by the Major, though.
So a question of he's paying attention, but it won't matter as...
And he does dodge it, but yeah, as you mentioned, I don't think it matters here. And the Sherman does go down, and I think with that goes Devem's chances as well, but we had that pack gun actually recruit here. And MG might go down as well. If he can recruit these two, I see potentially a snare as well.
I don't think he can really come back. They're too heavy of a loss. That Sherman was his entire army.
I mean, the Panzer IV is going down as well, MG as well. The Grenadiers are coming in, but where is the satchel from? He thinks he can do it without? No. The second Panzer IV reveals itself, and the Devem throws in the towel. But GG! Second game here. What do you think went wrong from Devem, if we can like analyze here for a minute?
He made the wrong prediction. He expected assault grunts, he got Grand Blob. And from there, you kinda just like... I felt like his build was very improvised from that point, because he came in with a plan and it's like, wait, this is the one what I was ready for. And then suddenly, he's dealing with the Grand Blobs. WC-51 is practically useless. He gets like one good cutoff play, and that was it. And his lone rifles got zoned out and chased down instead of going for early retreats, and that just gave Nagano the entire south, right?
I think losing all those units as well, you know, he lost his cav rifles at the start, his RE, his WC-51, like that's just a lot of manpower that you can't really afford to lose at this level in the grand finals, you know, because Nico's just capitalizing on it. He's just capturing the map, you know, playing systematically and punishing every time Devem slightly is out of position here with less units.
I mean, had the Stuart arrived just 10 or 5 seconds earlier, I think the game would be looking very differently. That 2-2 would have probably gone down. The WC-51 would still be alive, you know, and the RE might have been alive still. But it didn't, and that's like, it's those tiny, like, second margins that you have to be aware of when you're playing Co at this level.
Oh yeah, no further input there from my side. But yeah, let's switch around and check if they are good to go with game 3. That's a slaughter. You think so, Tommy? I think, you know, Devem had some chances here. It was definitely not too one-sided, I don't think.
He just misplayed.
Yeah. Minor slip-ups and really well capitalized by Nico.
I mean, that WC51 was not a minor slip up. That was just like he tripped and fell, then he did a spill of spaghetti and he didn't know what to do. Like it's so like you're so ready for one thing and you get the other, and it's just like that's really hard to recover from.
Yeah, they're about to fire up the third game in this series. Should we take a look at the commanders chosen in the meantime?
I mean, you gotta invite me to the observer party first.
Yeah, but it's 5 minutes delay, so there's no hurry.
Yeah, sure.
Let me just see here if I can show you the brackets.
Oh, Lumnus is playing auto match.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Maybe he's practicing for the tournament happening again in, is it January or February? I can't quite remember. But yeah, seeing the brackets, or not the brackets, but the commanders chosen here on screen, you could probably see some common themes going on. But Lovenest, he's actually picked a lot of wait, Lovenest, he's out. So, excuse me. But Devem having picked a lot of Soviet commanders. And Nico here has picked a lot of Ost here, so the options are dwindling here. Of course, with the format being Commander Terminator and fixed sides, allied or axis, if you switch around factions every now and then, you at least you even out your faction or commander picks. But since they're only essentially playing Ost here versus Soviet so far, the options are dwindling, so we might see some more of the other factions coming into play here.
What commanders have been knocked out for Devon specifically?
He has picked Mechanized and Airborne for USF, so those are no options. I know
Okay.
that. What's it called? Is it Rifle Company? No, it's Recon, right? With the
Recon
Pathfinders,
support, yeah.
and of course the Greyhound.
Could be his like gambit play, right? Like it's a very all-in maneuver as US, but it's a very strong all-in. If you fail to contain the Greyhound, the ultimate combo is like the M20 Stuart Greyhound, and then you just overwhelm them with raw micro and just numbers. But it's very aggressive, very all-in. If you make a single mistake, you lose the game. But on the other hand, the Ver player, if he makes a mistake, he loses the 2-2-2, he loses the pack, for example. Or you just catch him with a canister in the right moment, you can completely collapse his army and just outright win the game. But it's very, very risky. And, he's got his back against the wall. Right? Like, he can't afford to lose another game because then he's out, I think, right? So he has to do...
It is a best of 5, so if Nico wins the next game, it is over. So Devem really needs to start winning some here. We see here his Soviet commander's pick has been Airborne, Armored Assault, as well as Guards Motor Coordination that first game.
So that explains why we haven't seen SVTs. Okay.
Yeah, but we have Lend-Lease, which is a very popular option, as well as Guard Rifle with the KV1. So those are definitely potential picks here.
We could see Reserve Army as well.
Oh yeah,
for
true.
Sniper play, for example, could be strong but kind of risky.
Mm-hmm.
Urban Defense would also be another good option, but I think all his like super strong, like I win, my engagements and I can get converted into overwhelming advantage commanders are kind of gone.
Oh yeah.
That means, having to rely on 7-man conscripts when you kind of maybe want SVTs or maybe you want shock troops or guards.
Meanwhile, Nico here, he has picked both Osttroppen commanders, but he still has some Assault Grenadier options, such as strategic reserves that we were discussing about earlier. So we could see those happening still.
I mean, losing Lightning War for a win is not too bad. Assault support could be alright. Encirclement could also be a pretty interesting play, for the Stormtroopers.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like it's either gonna be Blitzkrieg or Strategic Reserves here, or he goes OKW. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
I mean, there is potential, right? We've seen stranger things so far. We saw yesterday SU-76 happening in the semifinals, so I think the options are there.
Who used the SU-76s against who?
Loveness used them versus Nico.
Did it win him? Did he win with that?
He almost won with that. The game was like 50 minutes.
Holy shit!
So yeah,
I missed out.
yeah, it was very entertaining, I think. So yeah, the game is about to begin. 2 minutes remaining before we fire off the cannon, so to speak.
Oh, elite troops.
Oh, I mean, it is an option. You have the G43s, you know? Alright, so let's switch around to the game and we can talk while the final minute here is loading. And let me just update the score real quick as well, of course. So here we are on Emily Fields, as we all know and love from Automatch, but this one's slightly different. Of course, this being a winter-themed tournament, we have this very visually stunning winter version of Emily Fields. And we have, of course, Devem once again picking Soviets here, so no USF this time around. And the commanders he's brought with him is Advanced Warfare, Partisans, and of course Lend-Lease. Very interesting, both Partisans and Advanced Warfare could be seeing some tier 1 sniper openings with these two, considering they have access to the radio intercept ability, which we did see earlier in the tournaments Devem utilizing quite well.
I would like to see Lend-Lease and some assault guards for once. That the assault nades are very, very lethal.
What do you think about Nico's options here?
Well, let's see. He's got Blitzkrieg, elite troops, and strategic reserves. We could see the Tiger Race, you know? That would be really fun. But more realistically, it's either going to be between Blitzkrieg or strategic reserves. Maybe if he's feeling it for the stun nades and the G43s. The Stormtrooper G43, for example, is extremely powerful. But it kind of lacks a bit of teeth, you know?
And it seems my prediction was correct here. Devem opening up with a tier 1, potentially a sniper here, since he did pick Advanced Warfare Tactics. Commander you don't see too often, I will admit that, but you know, it's interesting. Got the T-3485s. Yeah, I don't dislike it at all.
Honestly, the only really like outright quote-unquote weak abilities like the PPS, right? Because you kind of want long-range warfare in the current meta. But even that, just having hit the dirt, for example, is just really useful.
Oh yeah. But there we go, we see the sniper. I'm liking this, even though I hate playing versus it myself. Meanwhile, Nico here, once again, not any machine gun here with the Grenadier opening makes this, I think, build order very unique for Nico, you know?
I mean, it's an interesting build order, but also I think Devon's prepared for it now. This is probably why he's going snipers. If Nico's gonna blob Grens, right, and he's gonna mass Grens, then a sniper is the perfect counter, because he has to push the sniper. He can't really hold ground. The Penals, even though Penals aren't really good, they have their niche usage against Grens, especially early on. It's just giving a lot of firepower on retreat paths, or just, you know, taking their HP pool down while the sniper supports them, and then eventually filling that AT role.
Oh yeah, I think both builds are very solid here on this map, Emily Fields. Of course being created by Wufia many years ago and introduced by the Master League tournaments, as most of the good maps are. But yeah, we
I'm
have
interested. Is Nogano gonna go for a counter sniper? 'Cause he might lock in Blitzkrieg here for the recon run, right? And just try and outspot the sniper.
Yeah, but you know, Devem is going to be aware of it with this commander pick.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be interesting to see how he's gonna play around it. Even if he knows the sniper is there, you know, the risk of, you know, the recon pass hitting you, it's gonna make it kind of difficult to really push.
Oh yeah, and I do like what Nico is doing here. He's just, you know, he's just taking a couple shots and then keep backpedaling, making sure the sniper isn't allowed to get any more bleed down on him. So, very nice there, I think.
I mean, this is both really good play on both ends, I think. Having the two engineers spotting for the sniper constantly, so he always has a beat on where all the grens are. But I think he might be extending the sniper a little bit now.
What do you think about this? Devem actually not going penals here, but we see conscripts instead, so might be seeing those PPSHs coming out for him. But very interesting, tier 1 with conscripts.
G43 specifically might actually be like a secret counter, where you're like gonna just run up to his face, right, and beat him in close quarters where he's meant to be strong.
Oh yeah.
Also, another early flamer coming out from Devon is going to be interesting. I think he went for early healing. No, he didn't. My bad.
Oh, and look at that aggressive teller there from Nico, but it will be interrupted here by Devon, but I think it's a very nice attempt getting one of those very aggressive tellers down.
Never mind that, the sniper's in very high danger right now. Gwen's coming in right on the flank.
Yeah, he's backpedaling, trying to get that far retreat path.
Nico's not gonna chase this. Interesting. If it was me, I would get really greedy here, you know, just zone in on that sniper, but doesn't want to.
Yeah, and we see a conscript going down there to a rifle nade in the south. So yeah, Devem just microing so heavily on the sniper here. We saw another rifle nade, but not paying off for Nico.
It's actually a really strong play from Nico there. I think the reason he didn't actually chase was because he wanted Devem to be focusing on that micro just so he could get the rifle nade off.
Oh yeah.
This is some really strong mind games just coming out, just trying to manipulate Devem, break his attention.
I mean, we saw this the last game as well, right? You know, Devem just struggling to keep his squads alive in the first couple of minutes just by Nico's aggression. And we have here tier 2 coming down. Could see both 250 and 2-2 as potential options.
I think 2-2 is gonna be the play here. He hasn't seen any penals. There's no 18 nades out yet, and he's probably gonna guess that there isn't any.
Yeah, I agree.
Feeling either. This is.
Yeah, that conscript loss just hurts Devem so much. It's like the sniper so far has been completely nullified, just losing that conscript.
He's got 5 kills, but it's 2-2. Like, I think that's optimal timing almost.
Oh yeah, 5 minutes.
It's gonna hurt, and if he's not ready, if he's not paying attention to his radio intercept. Oh no, yes.
Oh
okay, so
no! Another squad goes down for Devem to another rifle nade. That's brutal.
That and another rifle again.
And here comes the 2-2, but there's only one conscript remaining, and it doesn't even have snares on it.
So 2 things happened there. I think Devon was paying attention to the radio intercept. He hears the tier 2 has been done. He immediately queued up 18 nades and tier 2. And while he was doing that, Nogano dropped the rifle nade, and that's probably why he wasn't able to catch it.
I mean, Devem is forced into a Siscan here. He knows the 2-2 is out, and you know what else? How can he kill it? There's no guards he can call in. There's getting another conscript. He doesn't even have snares, you know. Yeah, that's just such a bad opening for Devem, and Nico here picking elite troops. So we will see those G43 starting to tick in here. He has 40 munitions a minute coming in for him. So
I mean, honestly, a stormtrooper wouldn't be bad here. Just to sit there in camo and wait for the sniper to pop his head out.
yeah, potentially. Do see a mine here though. Could see some bait action going on with the sniper. Siscan is out, of course.
The thing with this baby setup though is that like, there's no incentive for Nogano to push here. Why would he push this deep? He's holding both fuels, triple VPs.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it was really close attack round there, actually, just missing the 2-2 with a hair. If that's an expression, I'm not sure. It is in Swedish.
Yeah, maybe not in English.
I'm not sure.
I mean, this situation is just... Nogano's getting a pack gun. Maybe assuming that Devon is doing a bit better than he actually is.
Yeah, I think that's a misread, but it could also be, you know, he knows he's getting a pack gun anyway, so might as well be safe. Why risk it, you know, if there is a T-70 coming, or potentially a quad, so I'm not hating.
Another right when he pops up, but he manages to dodge this one. This is just... I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if he can even recover at this point. He's lost too much.
He's rebuilding those conscripts though, and we all know the Soviet late game is extremely strong currently on this build. We see another rifle nade! Whew. It's like every time is a potential wipe.
This time.
The sniper in trouble though, taking fire here. He's not going to cloak. Stands his ground but misses.
I mean, at this point, what do you even do as Devon? I mean...
I would just ignore resources completely and just try to focus VPs, buy time and build a strong infantry support weapon force.
I think he just has to go manpower economy, but like... Nogano's gonna have tier 4 in like... the moment he decides to take battle phase 2, really.
Yeah.
That's just... Devon's gonna need 18 hits. I mean, he doesn't even have healing yet. He just got it 9 minutes into the game. That really shows you like how much he's struggling. You know, Nogano's relentless. He doesn't care. He's just gonna keep attacking. He's gonna keep, you know, poking holes, harassing.
Oof. 2-2 blows up the teller. Siskan getting an attack run there through the hedge or the shrubbery.
Losing 2 conscripts at this stage of the game is just so crippling.
Yeah,
you know,
especially, you know, with a sniper build, because that means you don't have your screening main line. If it was full-on conscript build, it wouldn't be as bad, but because it is a sniper build, you know, you're already down one main line from the get-go, so...
I mean, at least he has enough to tech, so maybe you can go for like a panic Su-76 here. But actually, I think a half-track would be really strong.
Yeah,
just because
quad or a second Siskan, just, you know.
I think you go for second Sis and a quad, because the quad is cheap and disposable, it just gives you a little bit more field presence, and I think being able to on the field reinforce your Sisguns might actually be something he has to do.
Could go for like a Maxim as well, just to start holding those VPs, you know. I just think VPs should be his main prioritization here. He's too far behind anyway on resources, like... We see a 4th conscript here being picked up, so...
His bit doesn't know.
He cancelled it from Maxim instead, so maybe he's listening to me.
When he cancelled it twice, I think he doesn't really know what to do here. He knows it's like... He doesn't really have a good answer for anything that's gonna come out now. That's gonna create a really awkward situation for him.
Could I actually see a potential... Oh no, the 2-2 is not in range of the flare, never mind. I thought if you saw the 2-2 here...
Oh,
could,
the
like...
sniper in the middle. Bit of a miss, Micro.
Does Nico know it's there? Oh yeah, he does. Should be fine though with the early retreat, right?
Yeah, unless there's a lucky volley.
Getting very low, but seems fine. There's a mine there as well. Maxim setting up in rifle nade range though. We see it, rifle nade. Nope. Cancelled from Nico there. MG retreating.
Just fakes him out.
Yeah. Grenadier is forced to retreat here in fear of more mines, I'm assuming.
I mean, in 30 seconds, give or take, we're gonna see a P4 come out. I mean, you could honestly go for an Ostwind here.
Oh yeah.
Would not be a bad call at all.
I think Oswin would actually be better versus the sniper at least, but...
What it? I mean, you have 3 machine guns on the P4 plus the main gun.
Oh yeah.
The Ostwind, you got the main gun and the old machine gun. I guess if you connect, you'd have a better chance of connecting your main gun though, so maybe it would actually be very strong against the sniper.
14 kills on the sniper now, about to hit Vet 2 here in its next shot. Or not quite, a bit more needed. And we have the second assist coming out for DevM there, you know, he knows what he's doing, we don't have to tell him what to do. He's going for that manpower economy, of course.
Oh, he's actually stabilized himself, surprisingly enough, but...
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him skipping out on snares so far, though. I really think that should be his next pick here.
I don't know, he's sitting on 200 fuel. I think he has to fake snares and just go straight for the T-44-85. Like, I'm not gonna get any light vehicles. I'm not gonna get any T-44-76s. I'm just gonna get my 85. I'm just gonna try to hold on even if I'm on the number.
Oh yeah. I mean, looking at this, somehow DevM actually has a larger pop cap force. I'm not quite sure how it's possible, but...
It's all the support weapons, I suppose, but... they're gonna matter. I mean, one of the really important things here for DevM is that he's holding a lot of munitions in reserve, so he could, start throwing down more mines everywhere, and he's already doing so.
Oh yeah, double engineer is out, of course, so... No, I thought that was the sniper for a second. Oof. My heart just jumped. Do we have a follow-up shot? We see an attack round attempt, but of course stopped by the piles of logs. Yeah, Maxim completely out of position, and so is the sys guns actually, as well as the snipers. Could see 2-2 go down here, they're running straight into the hornet's nest. Sys gun missing the killing blow though.
I think Morgano is smelling a bit of blood, and I think he got a bit greedy, but still going for it, and I think it's the correct play to just push off the sniper.
Yeah, but no decisive engagement so far though. I feel like DevM is slowly stabilizing here. He's doing really well with the... even though he was so far behind in the early game. And we see... oh, here we go. Stormtroopers are out from Nico in the far north.
No G43s, interestingly enough. Probably aiming for more of a wipe situation.
You can go MP40 into G43. It is possible.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess you could prioritize having close.
And dude, this Panzer IV is in trouble. Not sure why the second sys didn't open fire there. I guess it had some tracking issues, potentially?
I think the crew are more pacifistic than we expected.
Yeah, that's possible. But yeah, very nice rebuild here of DevM's army. You have the double 80 gun, you have the sniper, of course, and the machine gun, and he's rebuilt some of his conscripts here.
So long as the sniper lives, I think there's a chance for him to come back.
I mean, a T-34 is not that far away right now, it's just manpower issues, because Tier 3 is coming up, and then Tier 4 just needs the manpower.
You know, honestly, I wouldn't mind a PPS here to someone on the squads, just to get some more pressure.
I mean, he's gonna get Tier 4 here anyway, so why not wait for 7 men, 2 more minutes, you know?
Yeah, I suppose that's true. He's using a lot of munitions now to get mines down everywhere, which is definitely something he has to do. He has no choice. One mistake, one P4 comes in at the wrong angle, and your army's gonna collapse.
What do you think Nico's option is here, or his next unit?
More Panzer Force, just classic, just kill him, If one P4s, just kill them, like...
Classic, just win.
Yeah, well, in this situation, right, you don't need to do anything fancy. You just straight up, you just mass P4s and you just try and kill them.
I mean, the bragging rights for building a Tiger race in the Grand Finals, though, it's quite hard to beat, right?
Yeah, that is true. Could go for the PM tag race, or demoralize Devon and instantly force a surrender.
Oh, Gren's getting a couple shots off there on the sniper. See a Siskan in the center. And just Nico's sweeper up in the northeast there. Spotting the mines for the 2-2. Oh, Maxim is flanked.
Grenade on the left
Retreated.
side.
Oof, that was the stun grenade though, not the ordinary grenade. Interesting, you don't see that one too often anymore, I feel like.
It's kind of niche, I think, but occasionally it comes in handy.
And this Panzer IV is greedy. What is Nico thinking? Siskan luckily misses. Yeah, that totally could have gone down there, to be honest.
These guns have not been doing their job properly, I feel. Just missing, not shooting when they should be.
Oh, look at that Grenadier slipping away from the van there as well. Very low.
Oh, we might see the first 85 in a few seconds, so that's gonna be a stabilizing tool to really get his army back on track.
Yeah, it's going to be fighting versus 2 Panzer IVs, but of course he has a double 80 gun out, as well as the snares now on his conscript, so the sprint into snare is possible.
I mean, one T-34-85 can definitely rival 2 P4s, even if it is slanted against it. But it has the HP, it has the armor. And the most important thing is that it's got double sys guns. He's gonna be playing the defense here. So,
And
you know, the P4s are just gonna push into it.
You know, this map is also very support weapon friendly, because of its very simple layout, and you don't have that many shot blockers.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a lot of choke points, you know, and then opening ground, and that really lends itself to, you know, sitting with just 4 weapons at the ready.
I do not disagree. Yeah, no G43s yet for the Stormtroopers. Nico's been prioritizing them on his Grenadiers. Have you seen any more tellers? There was one in the center, but it got swept by the 2-2.
I haven't spotted any. I don't know what the munitions has been spent on. Probably just mostly grenades.
Oh yeah, we have seen a lot of rifle nades so far. Just trying to see if there's anything sneaky anywhere. Yeah, Siskan's in position though. Panzer IV in trouble. 85 is here. Only one shot once again. Siskan
Pack is
sleeping.
nearby though. If this 85 overextends a bit, he could run into the snare and the pack.
Seems to be fine though. Here is the 2nd Panzer IV.
But the Stormtroopers sneaking up the rear could catch these support weapons. Nice maneuver from the T-34-85 there.
Could see some crushing action.
Stormtroopers go down to the 85.
That's huge, but the 80 guns are in deep trouble here. Grenadiers are just going everywhere. T-34-85 about to get snare. No snare from Nico. Can't afford it actually, out of munitions.
Grenades finally backfiring on him.
And now the pack is in a very aggressive position here. And where is the support? All the Grenadiers are forced to retreat. 85 almost goes down there. As the Panzer IV is almost fully repaired. 2-2 going in for the sniper. Second Sis misses.
Oh no.
Should be fine, right? Oh no. No, the sniper goes down to the Sis. Or to the 2-2. And here's the Sis as well.
Down again.
And the second Sis too. That's so much manpower bleed for DevM. Sniper as well as double Sis D crew.
I think that Nogano's smelling it. Here comes the P4s. But this might be a mistake. He goes in too hard.
Yeah, I think he is very happy with the amount of damage he dealt there. Just, you know, complete chaos in DevM's forces there.
Nogano could actually go for the ace here. I wouldn't say it's a bad idea. He's so far ahead now.
Yeah, well, Battle Phase 3 is still missing, so... Don't know quite yet. Oh, missing again. These sys guns have really not been good for the VAM. Very unfortunate. Maxim setting up though. 85 almost fully repaired, but it's not present.
Yeah, this is overwhelming grand firepower. Doom blob. But you know, during all of this, the ML6 was claiming the rest of the map.
Oh yeah. Just staying efficient, but this... Yeah, they are way too deep here, and they have a long way home here and a lot of forces.
3 grands, 2 Panzer force. Yeah, I don't favor them making it home.
The Grenadiers aren't actually moving on the retreat path there. I think that was a bit missed opportunity from Nico.
Yeah, but you know, I think he's so comfortable in this position. He's taking up the battle phase 3 now, so we might actually see the ace.
In the meantime, we have a T-34-76 coming out for Devam, so not a second 85.
He also doesn't have a choice in this matter, I don't think. He has to. He needs anything he can get his hands on to fight Nagano's army, really.
Most importantly, I think VPs needs to be really starting to get prioritized here. He's down to 170 and triple cap is in play. You know, once the VPs are below 100, the margin for error is pretty much gone. You have to play perfectly at that point, and you can't afford to get forced away on the map as it's been this far.
I think Devon has to look for an opportunity here to just kill off all of the P4s. If he can get one of them, he can force Nagano into building another one, and if he can do that, then he can definitely turn himself back in. And I think the opportunity may have just presented itself. Doesn't know, but there are no grants nearby to actually support this pack in P4.
I think Devon might be fearing mines here as well, you know, he's not been this deep with a sweeper yet.
That is very true. You know, in this scenario, you don't also want to overextend, but I feel like he has to make some sort of play that really, like, evens out their armies. Yes, the 76 is strong, and the Sisses are good at holding the line, but I feel like it's gonna get out-muscled, quite frankly.
So how convinced are you'll see a Tiger Ace here? You don't think he's going for a
Like,
Panther? We've
100%.
seen a lot of Panthers though.
It's gonna be the ace. I believe in the ace.
Okay. Orange Pest believes in the ace, chat, so let's keep our expectations in order.
If he's going for Panther, it'd be right now.
I mean, Devem also has the skill planes here ready, if there is another panic push happening. And
yeah, no Panther being made, we're gonna see the ace. I'm convinced. Unless some big play when Nagano starts collapsing, I think we'll see the ace.
Oh yeah. No snare coming in there. I guess the Grenadiers were not in range, but here we go. The plates are coming in. Where's the follow-up though? I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this is quite yet. We'll see what Devem can conjure from this opportunity.
I think he's just trying to create breathing room. Just get himself a better front line, better position overall.
Sys guns and 85 coming in though. Pack not quite in position. But Sys guns just missing, dude. Horrible performance from the Sisses this game so far.
I'm pretty sure these guys are pacifists. They're intentionally missing their shots at this point. Planes have done their job, right? It's forced Nagano back, but...
And it's given enough breathing room to actually get a third vehicle out here. Meanwhile, Nico just waiting for the ace, seemingly. We will see it here in the grand finals. Quite exciting stuff.
Yeah, these 76s are gonna find their guns. They're not gonna do nearly as well against the 8 as they will the Panzer IVs. The 85 will be able to brawl with it somewhat, but the 76s are gonna have to make some serious plays here. I mean, honestly, I think their army-wise are kind of even now just because he went for that ace. It's not bad calls, right? But like the ace isn't gonna close out the game unless he goes for a massive push.
And I don't know, but I don't think Nico wants decisive engagements here, does he?
No.
He's so far ahead, like why would you risk it in decisive engagements? You can just play chill, play relaxed.
Honestly, this is where Devon knows he has the vehicle advantage, and he knows, like, he's seen the stun nades, he might know the ace is coming, but at this point, you just have to make a play. Like, you can't try and drag this out anymore, you have to just go in, you just have to just try.
We do see a T-34 in a very bad position here though. It is snared, Pack is in position. Tiger Race is here though! The beast! From the east. And I'm not sure if Devam is ready.
And we might see the instantaneous surrender when he sees the ace.
Ah, he already knows, he has radio intercept.
Yeah, but it's a different thing seeing it up close.
Third Siskan queued up for Devam. And here we go, the German battle group.
He hears it through the fog of war and everything, he's backing up, afraid. Tiger is just, oh no.
I mean, the Siskans are in position. Very poor support here from Nico. No grenadiers, but
he shows himself, you know, intimidating the Siskans, scaring them into missing.
Here we go, third Siskan coming out here for Devam. He is going to be needing it.
Is this Captain S Price or Devon playing right now? I haven't seen him make this many ET guns before. This might actually work, you know. Volley fire. Combined with the ram could make a
triple Siskan. A ram here. Is it not dead if you rams and those connect? But no. Panzer IV eating a volley. It's like a battleship up north. A battery of Siskans.
Thought you couldn't. He's basically blobbing. He's blobbing tanks and Siskans.
I mean, this ace is actually in trouble here.
The P4s are nowhere near to support this, but the ace has the self-repair and he's got the munitions to use this, so you know
it's
force it away for now, but it'll be back.
It's not about the size of the guns, it's about the number of them. And here we go, skill planes coming in, Siskans in position, Panzer IV taking some heavy damage, Pack is forced away. Panzer IV is not prepared yet. And Nico is on full retreat, Ace regrouping to join the fray, but the Siskan blob is pushing forward. Panzer IV goes down, but so does the 85.
But he can afford to lose an 85. He's just gonna keep building 3476s now.
I mean, the Pack goes down as well. What are we watching here, folks? Looks like Devem is making this comeback here.
Might actually kill off this vet-free Grenadier as well with the skill plane supporting.
Yeah, and you know, he's killing off the Siskan models, but he can just keep merging those, keeping those on the battlefield here. Grenadiers being very low. Just goes down there. And he keeps merging the Siskans, keeping them alive.
Panzerwerfer coming out. Okay.
Interesting choice there. I'm guessing the decisive engagement play from Nico might be coming in. As we see the final strafe there from the Loiter IL-2 planes.
These Loiters, you know, they're very, well, they're not that cheap, but they are cheap enough where he's kind of just throwing them out there just to see what sticks and, you know, getting himself some breathing room again. I mean, at this point, I would just get another T-3476. You just need more and more. Like you can't afford to wait. The P4, they're in the danger zone.
Oh, and a volley goes in, but two bounces, but one penetrates enough to snare him. No attack round attempt
These
follow-up though.
guns, 3 of them, and he did 1 damage. I mean, this is underwhelming to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they're bad, just get more, I've been told, so that nullifies their poor performance.
This is when he gets the 4th sys gun. Gotta one-shot those P4s instead.
I mean, Werfer is here now though, and it is in position. If he keeps blobbing those sys guns, he might get a wake-up call here.
I think he's actually fishing for it with the ace right now.
Oh yeah. But he doesn't have that Grenadier follow-up. There are 2 in the north. That Maxim is actually in a horrible position. It is forced to retreat, which means Devem is gonna lose the north here and the center. And he's not holding the south, so the bleed is back on the VPs. Down to 119.
I mean, at this point, I don't know what you do. He's getting more T-34 76.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. You already have the 80 in the Syscan wall, but you know, Devem should know the Werfer is out. He still has the radio intercept, so here we go.
Yeah, but it's a stressful situation, so he might not be fully paying attention to all the information that's coming in.
Werfer firing. Ace is going in. Hits all over the place. Doesn't kill anything. Panzer IV goes down. And another loss there for Nico.
He's losing units, but he's not losing VPs, and that's the important thing. He's keeping the VP pressure on.
Yeah.
But I think he just wants to keep this triple cap going as long as possible right now.
But I feel like the Devem's army is just getting way too large here. How does Nico keep up with this? The T-34 just hit the field here.
The Werfer, as always, was a mistake. He should have gone for a Brumbar here, or even another P4. But I feel also Nagano got maybe a bit too cocky. You know, I'm just like, no, it's like the ace. Sure, it's great, but triple Sysgun wall is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, conscript might go down though, very low there. Managed to slip away. Sysgun batteries just keep singing.
I mean, you can't push into it. There's one volley and you know, it can just ram you and you're dead essentially.
Nico opting for a pack gun here, not another vehicle versus the triple Sysgun, and you know, I can't blame him.
I mean, having a pack in the 8, I feel like is plenty to deal with all these T-34s, especially now these Vet 2. Gets a bit of an extra range, a bit more accuracy, and you know, it is the ace, so it's got spearhead mode, but I don't think he's using it yet to get the extra line of sight.
Not yet, no. Of course you have the repairs as well, and the blitz. And of course the smoke with this commander, the Panzer Tactician. And here we go, Werfer opening fire again, presumably on this Maxim. No! Or yes, never mind. But doesn't get the kill, and here we see the planes, IL-2 coming in again. Pack, way out of position. What's this Nico thinking here?
Oh, this could be a mistake. The ace
Instantly losing that. And the ace now. Pack gun goes down.
Might even get it stolen.
Oh no, quadruple 80 gun for Devem in play.
Ultimate counter to the ace. Gonna have to recruit this. Oh well, he doesn't even get the chance to because of the volley fire.
Triple Sysgun, and no, the ace is going in here. Gets a direct hit on one of the Sysguns.
This death ball of just anti-tank, tanks, and just infantry is too much. How is this the ace does not have the firepower? The P-Werfer is getting model kills, but it's not getting the wipes. And we got a T-34 coming in for that P-Werfer.
Oh yeah, where is it going? It needs to be hiding. Could just see the heal bunker go down here to do some further bleeding damage on Nico's forces.
I feel like this is like the classic trap very much falls into though. A lot of their infantry doesn't scale that well against the Soviets. The mass tanks and the effectiveness is just... It's a lot to deal with.
Well, Stug is coming in now for Nico. Interesting choice. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it, but what else can he do? Perfect coming in. This could be huge though. Only one model drop there. That's insanity.
And gets snared for his troubles.
It does survive though, so no major losses. These Grenadiers not having a good time versus this T-34 force. Two of them are snared though. Ace is moving in. Could be the play here. 80 guns moving in position. He knows there's no Werfer. And there goes the first Sysgun volley, just forcing that Tiger back.
Just scratching the paintwork. I was laughing, you know, initially against this triple Sysgun blob, but I mean, honestly, it's keeping him in the game. If those weren't there right now, I don't know if he could actually be holding.
Yeah, we have the Stug here in position, protecting the Tiger. Meanwhile, you know, Devam just patching up his forces.
Oh, nice use of the skill smoke there to stop the ram.
Yeah, but no attack rounds from Sysguns. They're being pulled back.
Might see an actual push here from Logano now trying finishing.
Yeah, but we have the T-34s. They're about to be snared here. Stug is in position. This could be what Nico is looking for. Attack round ace from the shrubbery.
He did also take out a conscript squad right there, so now he's really racking up the value.
Yeah, but that ace, you know, it's in a horrible position here, but it's bouncing a lot actually, rolling quite well. What is that? That's the Werfer coming in!
Oh no.
But
okay,
a
gets lucky
complete
again.
whiff.
How many times has this Werfer shot at the Sysguns now? 3 times? Hasn't killed them even once.
I mean, it is Vet 1 now, so it has access to that special ability, turning it into a Katusha.
Oh yeah. Does it do multiple volleys or just one?
I think it's multiple, or it's like slow, it's like more like Calliope style, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I mean, Logano has the fuel now, so he could go for a P4 here. I think that would be the ideal move. P4, and then you know Devam's army's weekend. Kill the conscript, kill the T-34. A lot of lacking HP on this Sysgun. It's gonna give him a lot of sway on the battlefield and just allow him to really push in.
In the meantime, I feel like Devam can't really get another vehicle. He needs to be healing up his Sysguns here. It's the only thing holding him in play, and that's going to delay his vehicle. What would you think his next option would be?
More T-34s.
Just a 76, or do you think he's going back to 85?
Even an 85, but... Oh no, Sys goes down. This could be actually huge.
Yeah, and the other twos are coming out of base, however.
I think the big problem here is just the 85. While it's nice, it's gonna have to wait. And that I don't think he can afford to wait that long.
Grenadier might go down here though. That's not something you want to lose at this point in the game. They do go down, but T-34 is in trouble. Sysgun stolen. Tiger takes a full volley there.
This is perfect opportunity.
And the snare might come in as well. Conscript charging in from the side. Not quite in range, but the Werfer way out of position. Snare coming in as well. Werfer goes down. Sysgun's coming up for the killing blow here on Nico's forces. Stolen Sys just way out of position. Stug trying to get a hit off, misses on the vet-free T-34 76.
Nice use of the smoke, they're gonna force the attack round.
Yeah, it also saves the Grenadier potentially there, one model running. Sysgun's forced away, Grenadier screening for the ace, potentially saving it.
Might get the double fast off on the T-34 there and even killing it.
Yeah, and the Stug is still, you know, it's not snared, so that could come into play as well. Sysgun decrew. Grenade! Whoa! almost taking those out.
Killed it for sure.
Yeah. Well,
One thing I would like to see Logano use, he's using the self-repair on the ace now, immediately getting rid of the crit, and he's going to be repairing rapidly now.
Yeah, you know, he has that munition in the bank to do so as well,
I mean, just look at that repair speed, he's already almost up to full. This is perfect. Devon is reeling, doesn't have anything.
Nico also using S-mines here, of course starting to use those munitions. It's about time. I would like to see, you know, Devem, he could use his T-44s here to be capturing the aggressive... And what's that? Stormtroopers in the north! Forcing away the machine gun. And the VPs are getting very close here.
The biggest thing here is that it's going to force the T-34s to the right, and it's going to give Logano the information he needs to know where those T-34s are going to be. That's going to give him something to free, essentially.
Oh yeah, and that Sysgun can't be recaptured, but we have the IL-2 planes coming in for the 4th time.
Yeah, this is a very desperate defensive one. He's trying to stop the Sysgun from getting destroyed, but I don't think he can unless he pushes in heavily with the T-34s.
Yeah, but that 85 is taking quite a lot of damage here though. 76 are just dealing the damage. Stug is here though to deliver some pain. We have the stolen Sysgun as well. T-34 though goes down to the Stug.
This is... The Vet 2 Stug, its fire rate is very terrifying. But he just gets his... did get his Sysgun like for a second.
Yeah, the Ace took it out. But he can't seem to get an angle on that second T-34 there.
I mean, what's great for Devon is he's got a massive bank of fuel to rely on now. Yeah, sure, he's losing T-34 76s and he's losing Sysguns, but the T-34 76 specifically is very replaceable and easy to get. It's not massive losses for him.
Oh, and Nico can't afford losing Grenadiers here though. That's it's his main crutch right now, I feel like.
Yeah, he had to get a Stormtrooper squad. Like, no snare is kind of rough right now, I think. Well, he could go for a Shrek. I wouldn't say it's a bad call here.
A Panzer Shrek on the Stormtroopers, you mean?
Yeah, just give him more, a little bit of both, you know, plan the T-34 76s.
Yeah, or at least
the main crutch.
Or at least the G43s, you know, just use some of that munition.
Yeah, I mean, it's just anything to kill the Sysguns quickly, but still going in.
Yeah, what is this? Is this an opening for the Tiger, potentially? Shooting a volley, everything is missing though. Both Sysguns on both sides just can't connect those shots. Maxim 1 HP. Stormtroopers almost goes down. Sys support forced to relocate. Grenadiers very low in the center.
This ace is racking up kills though, 33 already, and it's just looking for more. It might even take out these conscripts.
Yeah, that's an aced ace now, Vet 3. But it's taking some heavy damage actually.
These Pios are actually going to force the Sys to move, and wiping that Vet 3 is going to be huge.
But you got the snare coming in potentially from the conscripts. The Tiger's forced to back off. And did we see a Pioneer go down there? No, we didn't. Never mind.
No, just barely getting away, but this is... I mean, sure, Nogano is getting a lot of manpower bleed, but his tank's low HP, and Devon is just pumping out more T-34s. Well, Nogano isn't really making anything.
I mean, the bleed is just too heavy here for Nico.
Yeah,
but he has at least kept 3 Grenadiers alive here. If he had lost some more, it would have been way harder for him to hold anything, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with that. Like, this is... These Grens are just going to have to kill the Sysguns at one point, though. If they don't catch them out, that's going to be...
Potential attack round attempt here. No. No follow-up. Stug almost goes down, though. Using that Panzer Tactician to get out of there safely.
You know, another thing that's been a really big MVP in this game has been the Maxim. Kind of unnoticed, but it's been forcing Nogano into engagements I don't think he wants to take.
Now, almost complete equal here. 75 points remaining for Nico. And Tiger Ace could go down here if we see a ram potentially. No. The Vem is just happy with the current state of affairs apparently. Does not go for the ram there.
Okay.
Stolen ace goes down. Or stolen sis, I mean, sorry.
Oh, stolen ace, that would be a thing.
But here we go, skill planes used once again.
I think Devon's actually really happy with the current state of affairs. Every, every 2-3 minutes he pumps out another T-34, and look, he's got 60 pop cap. That's at least like 3 more T-34s if he really wants it.
I mean, we keep saying it, right? Soviet late game, and it's definitely not a myth. So,
Oh, he's back to 3 sys guns again.
oh, he stole it back, did he? Tiger Ace using that quick repair again, getting up to half HP. Of course,
maybe caught out now.
could stop that capture by clicking the secure mode here on the T-34.
Does he remember that it exists though?
Yeah, I am pretty sure Devon does.
I mean, no, he doesn't even need to.
Oh, Stug could potentially go down here. We see the smoke being utilized once again. Grenadiers pushing through the center, but Maxim holding the line. No problem. Tiger Ace eats a volley though, almost in kill range. Oh, bouncing the killing blow.
Nagano counting his lucky stars right now.
He is using the spearhead ability on the ace now, so nice utilized there, but quite insane that it's lived this far.
Another T-34. Ugh.
And this Stug is about to get a wake-up call. Sysguns in position, smoke is deployed, Pioneer goes down.
What do you even do as Nagano? I feel like he needs more vehicles, so I think that's the only answer.
I don't know, a second Stug perhaps, and just try to get the Grenadiers to reach the Sysguns. I think he has needs to decrew those, and if he does, there's an opening, right? But yeah, Devem here having no trouble at all, even rebuilding conscripts.
I mean, why not? He needs more infantry, it's not literally one conscript right now.
Oh yeah. You also get, the merge for the support weapons and all that.
Almost a big crush attempt in center there.
Yeah, Grenadier about to go down. Maxim actually entering the smoke to stop the capture. As we see a flame nade.
Ace is trying to do anything he can to buy time here.
Yeah. Here we go, Sysguns! Quite opening fire.
Just out of the range, and another Stug. Okay.
Another Stug is the choice there.
Preparation for an all-in.
Oh, and this Stug. And another. Was that 2 misses? No, only one, right?
These Sysguns, man. 3 of them, and it's still not getting the kills he needs. But I mean, at this point, right? Nagano, I think he's slowly coming to realize he can't hold the stalemate. He's slowly getting whittled down at every engagement, and I feel like he's preparing himself. He's gonna come with an all-in kill attempt, and if he can catch the Sysguns, there's a lot of them, but not a lot of HP. If the Grens can catch them off guard even once, and if he can get one good wipe, I think he's able to close the game out.
Yeah, very true. I think that's what he's looking for. I find it interesting as well, Nico, he's had that huge bank of 500 munitions, but they are slowly dwindling, so the amount of abilities he can keep using here are about to run out. But he gets one decrew on one of the Sysguns in the north. T-44 taking a huge hit from the T-44 though. Almost goes down. Meanwhile, we have a combat engineer in the south. Capturing that VP, it's not forgotten about.
Yeah, that's adding a little bit more pressure.
Nico here.
Max is making it really hard for the Grens to find an angle to push in on as well.
Yeah, I think Nico might want to start looking at some deeper flanks here. The T-34s, they're just holding the flanks so well. Versus the 4-man Grenadiers.
Okay, here come the G43P Stormtroopers.
But we have the planes once again. It's like they can do that much here, I feel. And Ace is actually taking a large amount of damage. T-34. Oh, he's so tempted. And the Stormtroopers go down. Yeah, to the planes.
Oh, this is just nasty.
I feel like Devem is just so tempted to just go in and try to end it here, but at the same time he doesn't want to overextend himself because, you know, he is also just down to 60 VPs here.
This is gonna be one hell of a game to come back on.
Another
This
Sys
may have been the
miss.
overextension Nogano was looking for.
Yeah, the Sys guns are open for the Grenadiers. One vet-free Sys gun goes down. 2 more to follow.
This one sucks, I've gotta move in. This is one opportunity, I think he has to go for it.
But Maxim is in position and the planes are still dashing out damage. The Stugs, however, trying to capitalize on the opportunity that the Sys guns are gone.
I think... Oh, this is just...
And Grenadier goes down again. Nico barely has anything to capture with, and meantime, Devem capturing the left, and one of the Stugs goes down. Second Stug smoking, trying to get out of there. Sitting in the kill zone.
Ace is going in for King and Country.
I mean,
Trying to do something.
what's his option? We have a T-34 on the other side flanking the Stug. Stug finally goes down there. As the Tiger is sitting duck and is about to get attacked from all angles. But it doesn't matter because the VPs run out from Nico. And that's
Jesus
game
Christ.
3 for Devem. What an excellent match that was.
That was an insane comeback.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember the early game? Devem losing 2 conscripts to... Yeah, 2 conscripts, rifle nades, and then the sniper going down as well. Just insane.
Of the Soviet late game right there. The amount of... Look at his army size and look at the pop cap.
Yeah, 70, and it's 4 vehicles, and it's engineers, and I guess he did lose some of the support weapons. The hero Maxim finally went down at the end there. But yeah, Tiger ending up on 50 kills, vet-free after this 54-minute game.
Yeah, that was insane. But the Ace, I think Nogano got a bit cocky, you know, thinking the Ace would end the game. But then one mistake, then another, and then Devem, he just clung to deal life, you know. It's just slowly the army just rebuilds. Every trade Nogano took didn't really economically favor him, despite the resource advantage it did help.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And I think this one game, once again, you know, just shows how well Nico plays the early game. You know, he's just so far ahead, I feel like. He's been that throughout the entire series, and it was the same yesterday in the semis versus Levnest. But yeah, very, very solid stuff. Let's switch over, and I'm gonna check in with the players here, see how they are hanging on. But great series so far, and great grand finals in this tournament. Orange Pest muted? Did you say anything, Orange Pest?
Oh, sorry, I forgot my push to talk. I'm so used to have using voice activation.
Yeah, it's not my fault, chat.
No, it's my fault. No, I was just saying, it's just actually, I've completely forgot what I said.
Okay, just went straight through on one end and leaving on the other.
Yeah.
All right. It seems we are going to have a short break, but we will be back in a couple minutes. Just, you know, refresh your drinks and sit back, and we will be right back as well with the 4th game of this grand final. So yeah, a short break, and be right back. Bum, bum, bum. And here we are on the game 4 of this grand finals, and of course we have Devem once again picking the Soviet faction here with a tier 1 opener. And we are here on Nexus, and opposing him we have none other.
Oh, we have none other than Ogano immediately going strategic reserves and a very interesting opening.
Yeah.
Double Pio into Assault and Grenadiers.
I'm liking this a lot, and a very aggressive capping there. You can see it from the get-go. Just the Pioneer sprinting to the fuel, getting that sandbag up right off the bat.
I think this might actually backfire really badly, because you look at what Devim has built out of the gate. It's that tier 1. That scout car is going to be a nightmare for those Assault and the Grenadiers.
Oh yeah, good call actually. Didn't even think of that. I'm pretty sure we will see a sniper here as next unit, but that M3 will be an option. And yes, we have the sniper being queued up for Devem.
I think if you see still Assault Engineers, I think you'll cancel the sniper. One of the worst things in this matchup specifically with the sniper is that you'll just get overrun. Or you don't like. He's got a conscript and an engineer against 2 assault engineers and 2 pios. Those are not odds you want to take. He'll just run straight at you and you can't really stop them.
Oh yeah. True, and we see the Pioneers here actually as taking a beating. They are delivering some damage on these conscripts though.
They're paving the path for the next squad. It's just gonna force them away immediately.
Yes, double fuel right now for Nico. This could be a very fast 2-2 follow-up, actually.
I mean, this sniper has really already backfired, right? Like, he wasn't ready for the assault grenadiers. He hasn't seen them all series. Probably thought, Nico wasn't gonna get them at all. And here they are, and now, like, sniper is gonna be rendered kinda useless, and he's not gonna be able to stop them from just basically just moving towards him.
Yeah, good call. We see another conscript here, so no M3 yet. I have a strong hunch that we will see one eventually. At least I would be surprised if we won't see one.
Oh my god, he can already get battle phase 1. This is...
Unit defense for Devem. Very interesting choice here. I do like it. It fits very well with a tier 1 opening, right? Because you get the M42 AT gun, so you still have access to some AT.
Yeah, it's a strong option, but there is a big flaw, and that is that it's 2 CP. And at this rate, he might not have the M42 up at the 2-2 timing.
Oh yeah, he needs a full command point, and you know, look at Nico's fuel here. Battle phase 1 already in queue, and you know, we have a retreating Pioneer as well, so that tier 2 is going to come up quite soon. As we have a 3rd conscript coming up for Devem. Conscripts with the sniper support here are actually doing quite well versus the assault grenadiers, even in close quarters.
Sure, he wins this fight, but it's the other, like, it's just the map. He just doesn't have the field presence, right? I forced into a flamer, 4th conscript, and it's 3rd minute, right? And like, this 2-2 is going to be the fastest 2-2 I've seen. This thing is going to like force an 18-8 immediately. If it doesn't, that sniper will go down immediately. There's no doubt.
I also like, you know, the no fuel for Devem. This is the first time he captures the fuel point. That's at 4 minutes. Until now, Nico's had control of double fuel, so... Yeah, that 2-2 could be very juicy. We see tier 2 coming up right just as we speak. And we see a sprint on the sniper. It's forced to retreat.
This is what I was talking about. You just run at him and he's forced to retreat. And now you're stuck in a situation where overall lacking the ability to solidify your field control. Fuel is constantly getting forced away.
Conscript as well go down here, but yeah. Seems to be getting lucky with those model drops though.
He's gonna need a lot more of that luck. I think the 2-2 is about to pop up. Any second now. Come on, Ogano.
Yeah, Nico being quite slow here actually with the 2-2.
There we go.
Yeah, but you know, that's 40 fuel almost in the bank, so it could have been way faster.
I think he could actually go for a half track on top of this. Would not be a bad idea at all.
Versus the M42, you know, it is available now for Devem. So that panic M42 is an option.
I don't think sniper on this map was the right call either. There's a lot of buildings and blockades in the way, and it's gonna make it a bit awkward for the sniper to get angles to fire from.
It's at least surprising to see him use the sniper in the north, right? I think it would have done a bit better in the south with the map layout, because here you kind of have these, you know, blind corners where you can hide your assault grenadiers behind, and it's not as easy for the eastern player in the south.
Devim is on the ball, by the way. He clears the 2-2 in the fog of war and immediately takes up the AT snares. Question is if it's going to be in time.
Yeah, they are up.
He played some mind games there, pretending he had them when he didn't, and now he does. So now he can defend the sniper.
Also interesting, you know, Devam has been very slow with taking these snares so far in this series, so Nico might just, you know, call his bluff, while Devam isn't bluffing.
Oh no, that sniper could be caught out of position.
Oh yeah, 2-2 is close, but we see an early retreat there, he's not going to risk it. As the M42 is leaving the base.
I mean, all things considered, Devim has stabilized now, but I feel like over time, most of these assault grants get their 6th man. That's when the trouble's really going to start piling on top of the conscripts.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's the Dishka. I think the Dishka would be really strong here.
But I know, I just gotta acknowledge once again Nico in the early game. 130 VPs down. It's been 7 minutes. You know, it's just
scary, man.
Yeah. Like it's like you're always versus a clock that's against you fighting Nico in these series that we've been watching the last couple of days.
I think it's also a big factor of the sniper opening being so incredibly slow. It just allows them to have, like, you know, he doesn't capture his VPs because he can't afford to. That really slows you down. I think Devon is going to look for Dishka, maybe even double Dishka here, just to fend off these assault grenadiers.
So you think he's going to skip tier 3? Oh yeah, there we go.
I don't think he has a choice anymore. He committed to the sniper once, now he has to defend it, and he has to build up like a support weapon army.
Yeah, the Dushka is out, but you know, I think, you know, he skipped out on the M3 as well. He's not really capitalizing on the fact that Nico does not have any snare capabilities with this build, you know, it's essentially free real estate with light vehicles here. But we do have a pack coming out for Nico, and there's also a teller being planted in an aggressive location in the north, so...
And only one engineer, and he doesn't have a sweeper, so this could actually backfire really badly on him.
Yeah. I think a alternative to the Dushka could have been second engineer into M3,
He's
but
building a pack.
he is expecting that light vehicle.
But he's held the map for like 6 minutes.
I mean, look at the Vem's resource. He could have a T7 if he wanted one, you know?
I guess, I don't know, it's just...
But yeah,
I don't know, he could have easily had Battle Phase 2 up now, by now, you know?
Yeah, I think he could have cancelled the pack once he spotted the Dushka, because that should be enough of an indication that there is no light vehicle coming, you know?
Yeah, but... Oh, he's gonna have it. I mean, he used it to smash sandbags, so that's always that.
Yeah, very true, very true.
I mean, these assault grunts, they're gonna keep fetting up, right? And they're gonna keep winning these engagements, and, you know, once that 6th man pops up, that's when, you know, the big trouble starts. But, you know, first Dishka, probably has follow-up on soon, is gonna make it really hard for him to find angles. Actually, no, he's going for TF3. Maybe a late T70.
Could just be straight to tier 4 as well to get the 7-man up. They do way better versus the Assault Grenadiers.
Yeah, that's true, but I think his goal here is more to rely on the Dishkas to just zone out the assault grunt, because it's a very, you know, it's a very open map, a very long map. It's a lot of spacing.
Yeah, but you know, we can still see here, you know, Nico using the small locations of ambush that are available, so...
Yeah,
He's trying.
it's not a perfect strategy, but in this situation, I think it's very strong and it's very oppressive.
Oh, and we're
especially
about to get a
against
flank here on the Dushka. Infiltration grenades are available. Dushka repositions. But you have the conscript and the sniper there. Infiltration grenades coming in on the Dushka. Bad spread though, doesn't kill a single model. We have another assault grenadier behind the lines of the VM.
Yeah, but this sniper here is gonna cause a lot of problems.
Dushka opening fire. We see infiltration grenades on the conscript retreat as well as the M42. Conscript almost goes down. The suppression might save them. But Dushka in a bad location here.
Amazing point from Morgana there.
Yeah, but no snare from the VM. He was not in range. And the 2-2 is still going. Could go down here if the snare is in range.
Just out of range.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
close.
a massive win for Nagano there. On top of manpower cost, he's going straight for tier 4.
And he's grabbing the entire map.
This is just, I mean, Pack might not have had an immediate usage, but he used it to cap here, you know, getting the little things out of his army.
Yeah, and you know, just staying very efficient. Was such a gamble though. I think that could have backfired extremely hard for Nico, but
He was confident in his execution, and you know, it paid off. And if it pays off, then it's not a problem. And here he completely crippled Devon, and now Devon is kinda on the back foot overall. Already on the back foot, but that engagement really set him behind.
oh yeah, I mean, look at the VM here. He has tier 4, dude. So 7 men is about to pop, and T34 is approximately less than a minute away. So even with Nico's advantage in the early game, the VM might be the first person to reach medium timing here.
Yeah, that is the power of the 3476, and it's quite frankly insane fuel cost.
Yeah, and you know, with the inclusion of the sniper here, you can see the VM is actually doing quite a lot of, quite a number on these assault grenadiers, dealing so much damage. Already tier 2, or vet 2, I mean, sorry, with 23 kills. Which is, yeah, that's half of his kill count.
I mean, it just shows, you know, how efficiently he's playing. So it looks like Nagano's going straight for the P4J, the premium medium tank of Vermax, which is going to be very powerful here. It's excellent at dealing with the M42 specifically because of its high armor.
Yeah, very true. No sys guns for the VM because tier 1 happened with the sniper. So M42 versus P4J, and you also have the T3476 coming in here.
Yeah, and he's going to have a pack supporting him as well, so he's going to have a pretty firm advantage. I mean, the big thing is that there's going to be no snares for Nagano, and that could really put Devon on the back foot, but
you know, in this matchup, the VM just needs to survive, I think, because later in the stages in this game, you have the anti-tank Overwatch, which just works so well versus this, you know? You have the heavier vehicles of Nico, and all you need is to snare them, or ram, or whatever you do, you know? You can get some very nice openings with it.
On this map specifically too, you get a lot more munitions income than you would on other maps. Really lends it to doing some saving for that ability.
Yeah, you get about 50 each here with an even split on the map, so... You also have, you know, the munition point itself is a lot safer than it is on other maps. The only one map I'd say is safer on is Crossroads, so...
Yeah. Oh, he might die for this 2-2.
Yeah, T34 coming in. Pack is way out of position. 2-2 hears it in the fog of war, however.
I think Devon thinks he's got the surprise on him, but quickly changes his mind.
Still no sweeper for Devon though. There is some tellers. We know that there's one in the north still. And here comes the P4J, about to be revealed.
And the P4J is gonna be brutalizing these conscripts. I mean, it's such an amazing tank. It has amazing anti-infantry. It's got really good armor. It's got a really solid gun. Can't really ask for more.
Oh, I'm scared for this T34 now. He's quite close to the teller. If Nico pushes here, he could force the VM to back into the teller.
The M42 is gonna line up to start firing on the P4J, but okay, no, just the 2-2. wiser with the targets, but...
Yeah. You know, Devem is actually back-teched here for tier 2, so Siskan is in the build.
Definitely
Interesting
the
choice.
correct play.
Okay,
I think he has to.
yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. And we also look at center. There is another teller actually, so there's at least 2 tellers that we've found so far, but they are quite hard to spot on the winter versions of these maps.
Yeah, and another big thing is a lot of the 6-man squads now upgrades are popping into effect. And, you know,
yeah.
this has the other advantage of giving them more received accuracy as well. They're just going to be more and more durable. It's going to be really hard to force them away. Also, one thing Hope Nagano does is he gets the Pioneer support package alongside the sweepers for the extra repair speed.
Enemy forces
Yeah.
are attempting to capture our territory.
Also gets them the, of course, the surprise satchel.
Yeah, the classic. I've bought so many people with that before.
Bit
This doesn't
unfortunate.
give you a notification, so it's really strong.
Oh yeah, bit unfortunate here for Nico, trying to grab the fuel, but he's standing just outside of that capping circle. And here we go, Siskan is revealed. Panzer IV actually takes a lot of damage here.
Oh, he's got a conscript on the retreat path though on the south.
Ooh, could go down here. T-34 charging in, trying to save. We see some body blocking, and now might see some crush. Yeah, Nico sees it coming and retreats early.
Still not capping the north side. That's really rough.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It would have been captured at this point, but yeah, he just realized. Bit annoying, you know, when you're playing really well and then small things like that happens.
Yeah, but you know, gotta grit your teeth and move on. Not focus on it. And immediately Nagano is going for tier 3.
Wait,
Tier
really?
4, I mean.
Do you think he's going for the ace again? It is possible.
Hope not. At this stage. I think he might be going for a Brumbar, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. You know, he sees the Devem's very high, once again, high support army.
And once you get that Veterancy 1 with the Vet 1 Bunker Buster ability, you get to snipe these Sisguns in one volley.
We can see here Nico is actually catching up slightly to the KD of Devem, probably because of that one engagement in the south, where he flanked the support weapons.
Yep.
That teller is so scary in the center there, such a strong position.
Absolute worst case scenario is the AT gun sit on top of it and
Yeah, or the sniper, you know.
oh yeah.
Wait, there's another teller. Look behind the 80 guns. Dude, Devem doesn't have a sweeper still. When it's about to drive on one in the north. That's probably the best timing for him though to drive on that, because I don't think...
These guns are completely out of position and the pack is already moving. These assault grounds are going to be able to catch them on their movement as well.
It's far away though, and the second T-34 is here. And Nick
Yeah,
Devem
but I
is
feel like the
regrouping.
P4 can actually do all this. He gets a bit lucky. Of course, that requires being lucky in the first place.
Dushka is about to open fire here, stopping the assault grenadiers. Yeah, I don't think Nico can capitalize on this.
I'll try anyway.
Oh, this is very risky. If he gets snared in this position, you know, his backline is not holding. Pack is open. 80 guns coming up behind him. Another penetration on the P4J from the T-34-76. The 80 gun wall is moving up. Pack getting flanked here.
Oh no, could actually be
P4J
Game
goes
ending.
down. Pack about to go down as well, but the assault grenadiers just diving the 80 guns. But you know, the T-34s, they're here. And there's no snares. He could just be crushing them. Huge crush coming in.
oof.
Pack gun goes down, but there's a second one.
Yeah, but he can't stop him from
Yeah, the T-34 can just follow this to base. We see a
There's
stolen pack gun.
2-2 is about to go down as well.
Second pack goes down as well. Everything is collapsing for Nico. And Nico throws in the towel, I can't believe it! That's game!
Well, I think Nico gambled, right? He decided to go for a strong early game, but he wasn't able to convert it into a really good 2-2 play. The M42 comes out, the Dushka comes out, suddenly the S-Grens versus the Sniper becomes slightly less effective. It's a big open map as well, and that makes it really hard to push.
Yeah, you know, I'm just speechless. Nico actually going for that teller, but seemingly it was a bait, you know. It just fell right into Devem's hands there with the second T-34 coming out, and his strong position in the center could just regroup and attack him from the rear. Taking a final look at the score here, we can see the Sniper just doing such a heavy number on Nico's forces as well. What a
He didn't
game!
even need the scout car, but like the Sniper plays really
Yeah, that
into
2-2-2.
capabilities.
That 2-2 could have been way faster, right? And that could have probably changed the outcome of the very early game there. But yeah, look at that. Nico's force is just completely collapsing there in that final engagement. Everything going down, and yeah, well played to both players. This is a best of 5, boys. So we are going to jump into the ace game any minute now, as soon as the players are ready. I'm gonna hit them up real quick. Okay, we are good to go.
Epic.
Of course, shout out to AE in chat. He's whiskey tasting in Edinburgh. But yeah, feel free to support the AE's channel, and of course support the Master League, !Master League in chat links you to the Patreon, which, you know, it's how these events keep going, thanks to the backers of the Patreon, funding all of the tournaments.
Yeah, it's giving us amazing games. Some real comebacks too.
Oh yeah, I mean, this series has just been insane so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had a very rocky start, and then suddenly it's just like kicked in. Just
Oh,
now
yeah.
he's just doing everything right, and Bono is fumbling the ball a bit.
Very true, and this also means, you know, there's no more assault grenadier option for Nico, right? And there's no Osttruppen either, so he's forced into some sort of grenadier play here.
I mean, he's on the ace game, and he's got a few interesting options he could apply here, but
Yeah, but Devem still has Lend-Lease available to him, I believe, so that's one very strong option still available for him.
he's got Soviets have so many more stronger commanders than Wehrmacht does, I think, and it's really showing now that you're like eliminating every commander.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he's down to. Oh, this is gonna be rough.
2 minutes remaining before we jump into the ace game of this grand finals. So all the hype in chat.
This is Canal Park. All right.
Yeah, next map will be Canal Park, so look forward to that.
I don't think I've ever played this map either.
It's a map made by Rachel, and it's actually one of the better ones out of the custom maps, at least in my opinion.
Well, I can't really judge. But I gotta say, the winter stuff is ruining my FPS somehow.
Is it?
Yeah, no, I've been running around with like dipping into 30s a lot during the casts.
Oh, okay, that's not very good.
Yeah, but I'm not playing, so it doesn't matter.
Break a Leg asks, which commanders have been used? Exclamation mark brackets, and at the bottom you'll find a tab where you can check out all of the commanders used so far. So that way you can keep in touch live without, you know, me having to do anything. So everything is available to you guys to look up on your own. And we also have a prediction in chat. Make sure you vote for that. 1 minute remaining. Let me play the trailer for y'all. And then we are going to jump straight into the ace game here of the grand final. So stay in touch. If that's something you say, I'm not sure.
It's gonna be very exciting though. That was the ace game, right? So that was the time to pull up and stuff.
And there we are, loaded into the ace game of this grand final, and we have Devem once again going for the Soviets. Tier 1 opener once again. He has faith in this sniper play, it seems.
Meanwhile, on the right side, we got Nagano. Not looking at a commander immediately this time. Maybe looking to do a bit more vanilla, trying to challenge the sniper play perhaps.
And once again, do you spot this? No machine gun opener from Nico. Really, you know, it's kind of making him very unique in this tournament, I feel, because most other players would go machine gun into these grenadiers, but not Nico. He's just going straight for those pesky grenadiers.
I'm starting to think he's kind of dug himself into a hole. You know, Devem's built a strategy to counter the specific run spam, right? And it's been working. You know, was the Emily Fields game, right? It wasn't the cleanest victory of all things, but it worked. It forced a late game that Nico simply couldn't sustain. And now we're gonna run to it again.
We have partisans locked in for Devem here. Of course, that means radio intercept once again. That's gonna keep his sniper safe from any counter snipe shenanigans. So really liking these commander choices here from Devem.
Got a few interesting abilities as well. The map hacks.
Oh yeah.
The anti-tank gun ambush tactics is very interesting. Camoing your Zis guns for a surprise falling on a 2-2-2. Very useful.
And he of course also has the marked vehicle, which is just so good if you go for T-3476s, for instance. Makes them trade quite well versus Panzer IVs.
Yeah, and then obviously you got the partisan troops, very versatile. You can make them fill any role you essentially want. AT, anti-infantry, even mine placement.
They've been reworked quite recently, so basically you get them and they're like vanilla squads without anything. But then you can go different routes. You can go PPSH, which gives them a 5th man, I believe. Or you could go AT, which gives them the Panzerschreck, so... Interesting options here. We have the starting engagement. Sniper is about to be revealed. There we go. We have a flanking grenadier here, really using this blind spot. Going up, it seems Nico is going straight for that cutoff, which the sniper is defending. Pioneer charging in on the sniper, not allowing him to cloak.
Fortunately for Devon, that was the Pioneer, not Grenadier, so that's not going to really threaten him. I feel like Nagano's maybe been trapped here. He's going to enter a really bad engagement with his friends now. He's going to be forced to retreat.
Yeah, and that means the map will go to Devem here.
Yeah, but I mean, just so opening. You know, Devem's goal isn't necessarily to win the fights, it's just to survive, right? He wants to get his 3 to 4 main line and prepare for his eventual, you know, expansion into tier 3, maybe as early Siscon if he has to.
We also see another cutoff play here as Flamer pops from Devem here. Going to cut off the fuel from Nico, possibly delaying that 2-2.
very importantly as well, again, no sweeper. It's very... He's going straight for tier 4 again. I don't mind having no sweeper, but he's eventually going to have to win. All it takes to end the game is one bad teller.
Yeah, and you could say, I mean, look at last game, right? There was so many close risk there for the... Wait, we have a Grenadier going very low here. Could potentially go down. That could be huge.
That is very low risk.
How did that happen?
I think he looked away thinking he would win that engagement, but then the sniper found the angle on him. That was... Oof. I mean, now Dedham's been firmly put ahead. He's got a sniper and 3 conscripts. He's gonna have healing.
Yeah, and the bleed is just too much for Nico, I feel like, you know. Tier 2 is up, but he doesn't have the fuel for it with that early cutoff happening.
Had less been last game, right, I would have been saying, like, you know, this is a super good position to be in, but this time, I mean, he didn't have the fuel advantage. He's not gonna get as good of his timing as he could have had.
And we might have flame half track here from Nico. Very interesting stuff.
This could be a major mistake, I think. Partisans are gonna be out now, and all it takes is one snare in the Shrek and you're dead.
Yeah, but there isn't that many garrisons. I think there's only 2. There's one on the cutoff for Devam, and one in the north. I think that's about it. Oh wait, there's one in the south as well. Is that 3 then? Or is there a 4th one? There is a 4th one, okay.
There's one on the left corner, one on the right corner. One in the bottom right corner, and then one in the bottom left corner, I think.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to keep track of those, I think.
Oh, they're already out.
Oh.
He didn't even use the garrisons, he just called them off up now. He wants to preserve the camo for the bait, because he's already got the 18As ready.
Here we go.
But they don't even need to research it anymore. Okay.
Flame projectors are coming in on the 251. And we have a very funny comment in chat here. Considering all the comebacks this tourney, he would say Nico is ahead right now. That's interesting analysis.
That is very interesting. We'll see how that works. I feel like right now, right, the sniper, the Shrek, the center, he's waiting.
Yeah, and there we go. The bait is live. And the partisans are in position. Snare coming in.
Oof.
And here comes the follow-up snare from the conscripts. Shrek connects. Snare in. 251 goes down. What a play from Devon!
Oh, that was so good.
Could that be the deciding engagement right there? We'll have to see. Nico has not thrown in the towel yet, but you know, 2 major units down. 6 minutes into the game here.
Did the game just freeze?
Not for me.
It's not going for me.
Oh wait. I got ahead of myself. It seems Nico might have thrown the towel here.
Damn.
And that's game. Holy crap.
That is... I mean... I think Nico, he let his guard down, right?
Yeah.
And you know, against someone like Devon, against anyone, even, you know, letting your guard down like that is just... You can't. You're just not allowed to. You make one mistake, lose so many units.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, he's too far behind at this point, right? There's no way coming. He has 3 grenadiers versus the massive army of them, and Soviets definitely have that late game, usually, you know, locked down, so... Man, what a way to end this series, though. I guess it was maybe fatigue, potentially, getting to Nico here, playing versus snipers pretty much every game must have got...
I mean, I would be very tilted in his shoes. Like, oh my fucking god, he got my fucking half-shot with the stupid fucking sniper bay. Yeah. It's a proper tilter.
But yeah, what a series, though. What a series.
Yeah, what a way to end it.
I wouldn't call it a rage quit, boys. I think it's just, you know, at that point, is there really...
Like, honestly, you don't come back from losing a half-track and an engineer. Not just a sniper opening with triple conscripts. Don't.
Yeah, I mean, just hats off, dude. That was an amazing series, I must say. And you could really see Commander Terminator. How fun it is to really watch this because you see so many offbeat strats instead of just insta-locking Jaeger infantry every single game. It's really gets for an amazing tournament, I think. And we see chat here. They want BO3 finals so that Nico can finally become the number one. But yeah, 2-0 and then losing 3 games in a row to the developer himself, Devon being a part of Relic
Yeah,
now is
you know what Devon sent me after
no,
you lost those 2 first games?
no.
Okay, warm up is done now. Time for the reverse sweep.
The confidence. I mean, that game 3 was so close though. Do you think Nico is regretting his choice of going Tiger Ace that game?
Right, and he went ace when he shouldn't have. You know what he could have made instead of the ace? 4 Panzer IVs. Could have just closed the game out. Easy peasy. But he didn't. And sometimes you play around with your food too much
Mhm.
and it just bites you.
Yeah. I mean, solid play from both players, and just I don't know. This tournament has been amazing overall. I think very interesting format as well. Make sure mods in chat. Can you finish the prediction? I don't have the authority to do so. 6-min GG is not solid. I think it's quite solid overall. Some of the games have been very long, and it's nice that not every game is a 60 minute 60-minute slugfest. It was Paul. I think there was a prediction at the start of the stream. Oh yeah, there was. There you go. But yeah, let's see if there's someone we can raid here. Cheers, 30. We did what we can, A bit sad to not see AE casting. This is probably the first finals that AE hasn't been casting in like 5 years' time. So that's
Hey man, he's enjoying himself. Let him have
yeah,
his
drinking
fun.
whiskey in Edinburgh or whatever. No winner interview. Would you like to interview Devam?
I can
Sure.
ask him.
Yeah, go ahead. Why Isildur didn't participate in this tournament? There was something about some ring somewhere. A ring to rule them all. Isildur got scared. No, I think he had scheduling conflict. Yes, he was preoccupied with real life, just like A. Maybe A is drinking whiskey with Isildur right now.
I thought he'd be drinking with Ed.
Did games start yet? It just finished, Cobra. So without spoiling anything, make sure you catch the vault potentially, or it will be uploaded, of course, on AE's YouTube if you're not following that.
Try this now. I'm gonna make a new group. Let's see. All right, there we go. All right, hold on. I'll call.
Oh no, leaking my private messages.
Hey gentlemen, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey.
How about you introduce yourself to begin with?
Hello everyone, I'm Devam, the guy that just reverse sweep Nogano.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good. Honestly, mentally wise, I wasn't ever in like any bad spot in the series, so. But it feels great still to come back and get that second place for Nico. The classic.
Mhm. Chat, if you have any questions for Devem, feel free to ask them. I just want to ask you, what did you think when you saw the Tiger race in the third game, when you were down 2-0 and you were like 400 to 100 VP?
Uh, well, I wasn't too happy because usually the Tiger is a mistake. But in that situation, because I was so far behind, the Tiger can be really hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But as the game went on and he didn't really pressure me as much as he should have, the Tiger, I feel like, started being a liability.
Oh yeah. I mean, you did kill that third assist gun, which I think just proved to be the correct choice. They did such a number.
Well, yeah, when you see the Tiger, that's like your first instinct. Just start getting all the ATs. That game was pretty unlucky, though, in terms of the sniper not surviving the 2-2 dive because the Zizgan missed the shot.
Oh yeah, we did notice that.
Yeah, there was a lot of brutal moments. And you had a really bad start. Like that was one of the worst starts I've seen in a long while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Losing your two conscripts, that was just. I'm surprised you managed to come back from that. Just
Yeah, it's not easy, especially against a player like Nico. But yeah, when you are in those situations, I think the sniper build order kind of helps making the comeback because you know it's a unit that does free damage. You don't really receive manpower bleed. So if there was ever a build order to come back from that situation, it was the sniper build order.
Hmm. Yeah, good call. We have a question here from Stir Panther asking, why the WC51? Did you expect Ass Grenadiers in the fourth game, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I did expect
No,
as Grenadiers.
that's the second game, sorry. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was
Uh,
pretty obvious because you loaded them into the truck and everything, and then it's like a giant gram blob, and then it's just.
And then I saw that Grenadier and I was like, God damn it, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough gamble, right? But like.
Because I really expected him to go for the Assault Grenadiers in that map. It's a really closed map, that's why it's good for USF. But
Mhm.
either way, that doesn't excuse the bad play overall in that game. Just the overall engagements and all that, really bad.
I mean, some of the units you produced was a bit questionable because at one point you had like 7 mainline units as your army.
Well, as USF, I feel like once you get behind, you kind of need to keep up the pressure and try and get some good manpower trades in so he doesn't get the P4 as soon as possible. And in that game, it was very difficult to do that. I had to take grenades to actually start smoking the MG and smoking the Grenadiers so I could get some close range engagements. But
yeah.
still, he was so far ahead with the double P4 that he actually pushed at the right moment as well. Maybe if I had a Sherman out when he did the push, it would have been different. But he pushed just at the right moment and the game ended there.
Yeah, I think that push was just so amazing overall, taking out both of those 80 guns, as you mentioned. And it was just before your Sherman hit, so.
Yeah, it was a good timing.
Yeah, for sure.
After the first Soviet game, did you go sniper to counter the Masquerades specifically? Was it just you felt like you could just beat them with just the sniper alone, essentially? Because he never built like any MGs, right? And he just Masquerades.
I was kind of expecting him to use Ostrup game 1. That's why I went for cons play and not sniper play. And he did exactly that, although that didn't go as planned as well. But I was kind of waiting for him to use the Assault Grenadier commander, especially in that USF game, so I could then start using the sniper. Because honestly, it's annoying to play against Assault Grenadiers with the sniper because you have so much early pressure and you lack kind of the early units to maintain map control. So I was waiting for him to use that commander, and at some point I just had to do the sniper anyways, regardless if you went for assault grenades or not.
Mm-hmm.
On
I have
that
a question.
oh, sorry.
Let me go first. You can go after. In that is not last game, the fourth game, where you saw the assault grenadiers. Did you ever consider M3? Because we were discussing that M3 is kind of nice versus the assault grenadiers, right? And you already have tier 1, so.
Yeah, I tried that in my games against Nico earlier in the week, and it didn't go as kind of as planned because the Assault Grenadiers actually do a lot of damage to the M3 as well.
Okay.
And you're kind of delaying the rest of the conscript squad, so you can just kind of maintain the map control, or at least just lose a little bit, and then go for the 2-2-2, and you're kind of fucked after.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I agree. Did you have a question, Orange Pest?
No, I was gonna ask something similar, so.
Oh, okay. So we have a question here from Gunther. What do you think about the Panzerwerfer after the Tiger Ace? Was it the correct choice from Nico?
Yeah, definitely was the right choice. I think if you went for that earlier, the game could have ended sooner. But because he delayed it so much, the game kind of went on and gave me a chance to mass up T-34s and eventually try and get a flank on in the Panzerwerfer and, destroy the unit and then make use of these guns.
We have a question here from Mr. Dudu11. Are you single?
Yes, I am.
Very good to hear. You might need someone for, the Christmas kiss.
Well, true. I already kind of have Love Nest, though.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. So we have Barfi Co here asking, what will you do with the prize money?
I'm not sure. No idea. Maybe buy some vodka for New Year's.
Yeah, celebrating.
Celebrating. How many star gems have you done? At least 20.
At least 20. Good answer.
I don't really have any more questions. Actually, I do have one. Out of the maps you played in that series, which one is your favorite?
Ooh.
Are we including Emily? Because
Yeah,
Emily
all
isn't
of them,
really a new
all of
one. Okay. Then probably Emily Fields.
Second favorite.
Second favorite.
Don't say Nexus, come on.
No, not Next. Actually, it's a pretty good map after the changes.
Which one? Sorry, you cut out.
Bo5, the first game,
Bo5.
the game one.
Yeah. I also actually really like the visuals on the winter map for some reason. I don't know, it's probably the most beautiful winter map, to be honest. It looks really cool, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Overall, the effects in Company of Heroes with the snow are very nicely done. Because that was the selling point of the game at first.
Oh, yeah.
Did your PC not melt down? I was getting like 20 FPS on that final match.
No, but I
What
actually,
the-
in one of the scrims I did against Nico, I actually had FPS like playing that in that map, so I'm not sure if it's a map thing.
I don't know. Like my performance on those maps was just awful. Good lord.
Yeah. Do we have any further questions? Other than that, I'd like just say, GG well played and happy holidays, Merry Christmas and all that stuff. It's 1 week left, I think.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
And cheers everyone tuning in and watching as well. Make sure to support the Master League and AE on the links in chat. Did you have a question, Eddie? How fast does the money get sent to Devem so we can hit the casino?
It
I'm
was
not
already
sure.
sent.
Oh, it's already sent. It's already in
Yeah.
his pocket. HS
Sounds
Luan.
rigged.
HS Luan wants you to post more game analysis videos.
That's true. I have been slacking. I'm so sorry.
But you have some cooking, or?
I kind of add 2 videos that I was doing, and then I left both of them in the middle of production.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I just kind of need to finish them.
What are the topics of those videos?
One of them was an OKW guide.
Ooh.
Oh lord.
It was requested, okay?
Yeah. Select 5 Volks, press radio silence, right click enemy base.
See, that's why you aren't a top OKW player.
Fucking watch yourself. I would not be talking shit. After that game in Call 1, dude. That series. Yikes.
Which series?
The Call 1 series, the cash game.
Oh, against the mine.
Losing your engineer from the get-go, man. Yeah.
I'm just so rusty in Company of Heroes 1, so rusty.
Okay, sure.
It's true.
Can make all the excuses you want.
Oh well, yeah. I think we're done here for today. Sadly, I did not have permission to raid anyone, and seemingly no one else has either. So you're just going to run into the void of Twitch. But yeah, go twitch.tv/Ishtar is currently streaming, another Swedish fella. And shout out, of course, also to Isildur in chat. One of the better tournament players for sure. Excited to see you guys fight it out in the next tournament happening in January, February. Somewhere around that area.
Hopefully, if I can play in it, yeah. I've wanted to play Zilder for a long time now, and he kind of dodged me in this tournament. Feels bad.
Oy, oy, oy. Picking fights with everyone today.
Oh well, enjoy the rest of your evening, boys. And once again, GG well played. And of course to Nico, if you're still out there somewhere, GG's to you, man. Played.
Yeah, GG's.
And thank you, Orange Pest, for joining on this cast. It was a great fun.
Yeah, it was an alright time. I need to go to bed though, I haven't slept at all. I think I've been up like 40 plus hours at this point, so...
Yeah, that's on you though. But yeah.
Yeah, but I need to sleep now.
Well, bye-byes. I'll see you guys around. And yeah, GG's.